Hello everyone and welcome back to another Planet Coaster 2 video. Today we're going to be building the ultimate Planet Coaster Park. If you guys like these videos, let's get this one to 800 likes to lock the next one. If you guys also wouldn't mind, we are so close to 50,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you guys have any ideas for themes I can do in the future videos, definitely let me know in the comments below. And without further ado, sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's get right into the video. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Planet Coaster 2 video. We have arrived in the beautiful tropical oasis. Let's get started with a entrance. So let's kind of see what we have available to us here. I already kind of had one picked out. I really like this one. Let's kind of plop that down and see what that looks like. So it's kind of just a classic little entrance. This kind of reminds me of Silverwood. If you've ever been to Silverwood, I highly recommend it. Very cool theme park, but it kind of just walks in kind of the style buildings. I absolutely love this one. So let's get this one. Obviously, we need a place for our buses to come through, and we might even be able to combine this with something else. Let's maybe see if we can get a parking lot to start. Let's get our parking lot in here, and this could maybe go just right off. I guess our parking lot needs to be like more central like this. Let's maybe have this kind of tucked in there, and then we can set our height here. So let's actually get this on the ground. Let's just get that on ground level. Lock that in. Let's see how that looks. I think that looks pretty epic. Oh my gosh. So we got a nice big parking lot. I think that'll be awesome. And we will need some sort of path. I can maybe even take this up through there. But let's go ahead and link our other entrance right to this one. And then it could maybe even go... Should I kind of angle it a little bit? Just so it kind of goes out like this. Okay, that should be a lot better. We can really work with this. We can maybe get a path going this way for maybe some staff facilities, and then obviously enter our giant amusement park going this way. I think that should be awesome. I might actually want to get rid of this little... I'm just going to get rid of that, and then I could maybe redo this. Obviously we have two different styles here. I might actually take this and just connect it right to maybe in the middle, just like that. How does that look? That's not too bad. Pretty symmetrical on either side. And then we do have these paths over here, and they could probably be something cool. I guess to maybe start off, let's get a bathroom in here. I think this would be a great little nook for a bathroom. Let's get one of those. So let's go to our shops. Let's go to, wait, where the heck is this? Staff. Let's get a bathroom here. And I guess let's just get maybe something tropical would be kind of cool. How's this? That's semi-tropical. Maybe even this. This is a lot cooler. And this could maybe be like right off of here. I think that's perfect. That looks really good. And now we can obviously plop some bathrooms in here. This looks really good. Okay, let's fill this up. Obviously we'll need his and hers. Let's edit this, or let's maybe go, if we edit this building, and now if we grab some facilities, bathrooms, let's go custom. And obviously we'll need some change rooms, some bathrooms. Let's figure out where we want our bathroom to go. I guess our bathroom could maybe go like right in here, maybe? I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Let's get our toilet cubicle, and then we can kind of just spin this around. Or actually maybe our bathroom can go like right in there. I don't mind that. That looks pretty good. And then we can maybe even have another one in there. And then all of these could maybe even be change rooms. Okay, that's pretty good. And then in here I could maybe have girls' washrooms. Boys' washrooms, girls' washrooms. I think I like that. And then we also need to get some body dryers maybe. I guess maybe get some change rooms first. So let's go ahead, throw a couple change rooms in here for the boys, and some in here for the girls. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, actually, I think we blocked that off. Let's just leave that. Actually, I think the girls probably need more space. Let's make this the girls' side. I don't know why, but I feel like they need more change room space. I guess we don't need to put this in here. This can kind of just stay open. Obviously, that's our little entrance for our path. And let's maybe even see if we could get these paths in here nicely. Let's maybe use our stamp builder. You can literally just add some pathing in here. I think that looks quite nice. And we have our path coming off of this. I might even want to just load this up with some paths. I don't mind that. And then obviously I'll have to go into here. And then with this, I could do our custom brush tool and kind of lock that in. And then see if we can fix this. Let's just get going right across. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, we got our paths for that. We even have a little speaker here, which is kind of cool. Might have to hide that actually. But yeah, that looks pretty perfect to me. Let's make sure those bathrooms are open. Yeah, cleanliness is doing pretty good. Scenery could be a little bit better, but let's maybe throw in a couple of trees in here just to kind of tie this all together. Let's lower our size maybe to like a 6.6. And then we could kind of just throw some trees in here. I might put some rocks just around this to kind of just hide that a little bit. Wish it'd be a little more dense. Let's see if we could do this. Avoid paths. Let's just turn that off and avoid line to surface. Let's see if we can kind of... I think that does a decent job of sort of hiding that. Let's turn our intensity up a little bit and let's get some smaller plants in here. Don't want to go too much. Maybe something like that, and then in here I could fill it in just a tiny bit as well. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, I think that hides it nicely. Over here, we can even just do a little bit of grassy area. Or I could continue this rock along. What do you guys think? Obviously, you're not here to ask. Let's just put a couple of trees in here. Avoid path, we can turn that on. And just get a couple of trees. It might be a little bit too dense. Actually, instead of doing that, what I might do is maybe get like a sign. I feel like that might be kind of cool. Let's go to our blueprints. Go to our scenery, and then hopefully there's like a sign somewhere. Actually, let's just type in bathroom. Or sign, actually. Okay, we got some signs. We got Chief Beef, a lot of cool like Cosmic Cow. This is what we want. So we have like... We could obviously put that somewhere. Maybe hang it on a post. Or aquatic post, maybe. Unless there's like an actual bathroom sign that we could throw up here. Okay, we have some toilet signs here that we can throw up. Even just like something like this might be kind of nice. So obviously people come right off of here. I think we could maybe have... Yeah, maybe just kind of put this right... Where do we want to put this? Let's go from this point of view. Let's kind of just put this right on the corner. Like this. And then obviously once they get his and hers, I think, yeah, so this is the boys' side. Let's maybe just put one. Oh, that's kind of both. Let's go. There we go. That's perfect. Actually, I just pressed V and it perfectly set it up. Let's just get this, maybe even just right in between this. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I think that signifies good enough that these are indeed the bathrooms. That should be plenty signage. Okay, that's good. Got some bathroom set up. And then maybe right off of here, I could have like an information thing. What do you guys think? I might even want to maybe see if we can fix this. So let's grab our editing tool and see if we can kind of just grab this part and maybe just kind of move it just like that. Oh, that's absolutely perfect. Okay, that looks a lot better. Let's see if we can even do this one as well. We can maybe move that right to there. Okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, nice and rounded off. Obviously, this could maybe be our guest or our kind of facilities building for our staff. We also need an information guest services. So let's go to our blueprints and first get a little building for where guest services is going to be. So we could maybe get... Actually, it might even be under scenery. Okay, I actually really like this one. It's kind of got a little bit of pink on there. It's kind of cool. Let's get this just for guest services right here. Yeah, right off of there might be nice, or even like in here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to interrupt the bathroom area. Let's just put this over here. Maybe even here. And then we can kind of twist that around. Let's get our guest services right off of here. I think I want people to be able to see it as soon as they come in. So let's go ahead and put that right there. I think that should be good. Maybe right on the corner, just so it kind of hides that a little bit. Okay, that should be good. And now we can click on this, edit our building, and now we can throw in our guest services. Let's go to custom. So this is bathroom and information. So let's get our guest services. Press Z on our keyboard to kind of twist that around, and then you can perfectly throw that in there. Obviously, we're gonna need some power over here. So wait just a little bit more. Ooh, actually don't love the way that ended up. Let's deselect these and see if I can just move. Can I move this? Maybe just like right there instead. And then these I'll quickly just delete because they just look a little bit weird. And then I could take a path right off of there. Let's get just a line builder. Let's set it to like 4. Doesn't have to be too big. Let's make sure we're nice and symmetrical with the other side here. And I do still want a path going out here. And then I could just take a path right off of there and connect it there. Okay, I think that should be awesome. We got our guest services kind of set up. I could maybe have something on this side. And in fact, it might actually be kind of cool. We need to decide here. I could maybe have some like, it doesn't have to be too congested in here, but I do kind of want some like food shops in here as well. Obviously, this is where you buy your tickets. Got your bathroom here. Let's maybe get, we don't want to spend all of our money. And again, we started with 300,000, so it's actually pretty good. Another thing, okay, let's actually set up our staff facilities. So if we take this, we could maybe just have this kind of go around here. And then maybe just kind of around here. And then we could get a few staff facility buildings just throughout here. I think that'll be good. Obviously, to start off, I'd love to get a workshop if we can. So let's go to blueprints, staff facilities, and a mechanic shop. So then we can start getting some research points. Actually, I can't remember if I turned that on. Let's just get our mechanic shop right in here. And I feel like it could maybe even tuck kind of into here. Let's get our mechanic shop there. Let's get a couple of other buildings. So we're going to need a staff building. And this could probably go right in between here. Kind of just angled like that. I think that should be perfect. And what's our capacity for this? I don't know what it gives us for capacity. So 16 workers. Okay, so we might even need more. That's a good start for now, though. Let's get a couple of paths for this. And I guess we might even want to do a staff path for this instead of these ones. Let's maybe just stamp these in, maybe, if that'll let us. I don't want any other people to be able to come through here, so let's just get rid of all these. I guess we can maybe keep that, and then right off of here, we can maybe come with a staff path and draw this in, just a square. And this, I guess we could maybe have swivel out this way. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we could just take a couple of paths right off here. Just like that. I think that's perfect. And again, we will need some power. We'll have to figure that out. And in fact, we can maybe do that right now. Let's go to facilities. Let's go to our power. I think I'm happy with this. We could get a solar panel. It'll cost quite a bit of money, but I think if we're going to have a bunch of power for our park, I think we want as many solar panels as we can. Rather than generators, they are a lot more efficient. Let's get a big solar panel, maybe even kind of back here might be good. Just so they're kind of out of the way and we have them kind of right in the sunlight. Let's get a couple of these. And then obviously we'll have to put our little, we put this down here. Let's actually put stick to surface. Let's see if we can put this in here. There we go. We can lock that in there. That looks epic. I absolutely love that. We're gonna need a path going to here. Obviously, let's go back to our staff path. Nice and small. And this could maybe just kind of wrap around. Let's actually take this a little bit further out. And I guess we'll maybe have to have a little entrance for them to be able to get to our park. So let's just do that. And then we got this little tree kind of going around here. I guess we could just kind of take this way and just wrap right around here and go right back to our path. I think that should be perfect. Okay, we got some distributors. I think that should power all of this. How is this doing? So connected to path. Oh, no path? What? Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. We have our distributors. Let's get a little power node here. Going from here right to there. Perfect. So that gives us power for all of that stuff. I think there probably is some shops throughout here that we'll have to fill up. Hopefully, anyway. And this is looking pretty good so far. I actually really like this. We still need to have a entrance and exit for all of our buildings here. Not buildings, our cars. Let's just grab that, maybe. Oh man, actually let's just get a dirt path instead. So let's clear a path for this. Let's get rid of some of our trees here. And yeah, maybe just a dirt path might be fine. If we can get one. Is there like a gravel, sandy path, natural path? Let's get a natural path coming off of here. Set it to 12. And it'd be nice if I could just draw it in. I might have to mess with our terrain here a little bit. Let's actually maybe smooth this a little bit. Flatten to surface. That's not what we want. Smooth. No, let's lower that a little bit. Let's lower our hardness and our intensity. And we can kind of see if we can smooth this out a little bit. Might even have to come through here. Get going this way. Oh, that's not gonna do. Okay, let's actually just get our cobblestone path here instead. I think that'll be a little bit better. Let's just go right off of here. And then we could just take this way. And then see if we can maybe... Let's turn off our snap. How do we do that? Angle snap. Let's just go like that. And then that's probably as good as we're going to be able to do. Okay, I think that should be good. Let's fix this because it is obviously very ugly. Let's just take this just like that. I think that's good. And I think they even fixed that. Like, that works a lot better than it used to. Let's just round that off just like that. I think that should be nice for our buses to come and go. And obviously once they leave, they'll kind of just turn this way. Let's maybe exit out through there. I think that should be just fine. Let's get going right off of here. Straight out this way. And for some reason we have, why isn't that fixed length? Oh, we want it to curve. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. Now let's just take this right up through there. Take it up, raise it up a little bit, and get it going out into the jungle. I think that should be great. And then this one, I'll just take right off of there and then see if we can just do that. Actually, that works out perfectly. Okay, that looks really good. We got our crosswalk through here. And we got our entrance, our exit. That looks wonderful. What else do we want to do here? So let's maybe finish this. Actually, it's probably done. I still want to get maybe like a little food court in here. Maybe. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe some buildings behind here. Let's go to our blueprints. And let's grab a couple of maybe food-ish buildings. What I could do is just throw in like a giant food court. Would that look good? I mean, it's pretty big, so I don't think I necessarily want to do that. Let's just get like maybe even a McDonald's, a Subway maybe. Dunkin' Donuts, we got a few options. This is actually pretty cool. And in fact, I might do this just because it's nice and simple for our guests to kind of come in through here. Or where do we want to... I guess we can maybe put it like this way. I actually like that. Let's just throw it right there. And then we could take this path and just take it right out to here. I think that should be perfect. We got a bunch of stuff in here already, so we're gonna open those up once we get our park kind of opened up. We don't want to spend any unnecessary money. We already have a little bit of staff coming through here. This is looking absolutely gorgeous. Like, I actually really like this. I can maybe put a couple of trees back here really quick, just to kind of make this side done. Of course I can't. Okay, let's put some tropical trees kind of just behind here, just to kind of fill in this side a little bit. And maybe a few over here as well. Something like that, just kind of fill in this area. That looks really good actually. Okay, let's get the rest of our park kind of figured out here. Okay, so this is kind of our grand entrance. We got our little ticket booths here. That's looking really good. We need to figure out, I mean, we could maybe stamp something. We don't have a big enough thing here. What do we want to do? I guess what we could do is just take a big path and then maybe see if we could use our fixing tool to kind of just angle all this in a most natural way possible. So let's kind of just hope for that. Let's go right in the center of this. In fact, let's make this perfect. Just like that, right off of there. And then this I kind of just want to take right out this way. And which direction do I want to go? I mean, I could probably go throughout here and kind of just going out that way. I think that's a good start. And yeah, let's see if we can fix this. Let's grab our line tool. Let's grab this and drag this out and see if, oh gosh, it's not looking good. Let's go a little bit further maybe. Or I wonder if I have to take this. Oh, that's so bad. There's got to be a way to like kind of fix that. I don't know. Or I could probably just leave it like that. And actually, what I might do, let's get this. Let's stamp this out a little bit more. Let's stamp this out right off of here, and let's maybe go a little bit bigger. Just like this. And let's see if we can get this looking nice, just to have a little bit more space right out of here. I don't want it too congested, so let's fix this. Let's just grab this and take it to there. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I got it as straight as I can. I think that should be just fine. So we got a nice little entrance coming out here. And now we could get like maybe a couple other ticket booths in here. And in fact, I might go ahead and do that. Let's even just take the one that we had here. I think that should be just fine. So let's just kind of copy this and take it right along here. And then I could maybe even have a couple of these. Or actually, there was a double one, I think. Let's go to here. Let's go to, I think, what was it? We just want, here it is. It was in scenery. So we have this double one. This looks a lot better to me. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. It could come right off of here. And maybe even kind of centered just like this. And let's back it up just a little bit, just so we have room for a path. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. Edit our building, and then we can get some facility buildings here. So let's go to custom. Actually, I mean, we could get a information booth in here. We already had one. So this could probably just be like shops. I don't know. It's like a restaurant. Maybe some foods. We got our chief beef. We got our gelato bros. Some sushi. Let's do a hot dog squad. Gotta get a hot dog squad. And maybe like a pizza pen or maybe a drink place here. Cosmic Cow. That's perfect. Yeah, I really like that. This got really messed up. So honestly, I might... What on earth happened? Okay, I'm actually gonna have to back this up a little bit. Let's put this out a little bit further. Just like that. And then see if we can fix this now. Yeah, it's just not in that range, so that should be good now. Cosmic Cow. And our pizza pen. Or Pizza Pan Hot Dog Squad. Let's get our Hot Dog Squad, because there's another pizza pin that I want to get. So that should be good, and let's take our tools here. Can we connect to both of them? Oh, we totally can. Let's maybe do like a, is that size 8? Size 7 maybe? Or size 6? I think it might be size 8. There we go. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, we got a path for both of those. We can open those up. Obviously, we'll need some power, so we will maybe even throw a little distributor over here. And then maybe something on this side as well might be kind of nice. So let's just grab this. Let's duplicate that building. And we could throw this just over here. And in fact, let's try and make this symmetrical if we can. Maybe just like, I think that's fairly symmetrical. Right there, and then we can get a path going to here. Just like that. Okay, we need to get rid of these. Let's delete those, and then let's get a couple of different shops in here. Over here we could have like a Chief Beef maybe. Let's go ahead and spin that around, and let's get another, maybe a gift shop. That'd be kind of cool. Hat's fantastic. I need them to be able to, yeah, like balloons. I want some balloons in our park. Let's do that. And I can maybe even get, let's see if we can do this. Let's go back to this one. Our guest services, and let's see if we can get this. I mean, I could put it like right there. It's a little bit congested. In fact, it's a lot of congested. What if I put it like in here maybe? No, that's not going to fly either. Okay, I think that should be fine. And then in here, I could obviously take a path. I want our path to go. I don't know what I want to do with this. Oh, I actually like that. You got a little rounding tool here. Oh, that is so cool. That looks a lot better. You kind of round these areas. That can actually helps with that. And then we could just take a path off of here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get a size 12. A nice big path. No need to do anything over here. And in fact, that could maybe be where this path connects. So let's just take a path right off of here. Just like that. And then start going into our park. Like this. Do I want to maybe build up like a little hill? I need some kind of cool set piece. Let's just take that going out that way. I need something cool right here, if I can get it. And in fact, I'm kind of obsessed with that little rounding tool now. Let's round off our little edges there. That looks a lot better. Okay, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna take this path and just have it come maybe even just a little bit tighter here. Kind of just like this. And then I could take it kind of just around. Connect it to there. Might be just fine. Like maybe get some trees in here. Let's see if we can do a little bit of decorating. Get some tropical plants. That might be a little bit too much. Let's actually make sure we are avoid paths on. But the only issue with that is might limit us a little bit. Let's turn it off and see if we can just get a couple of trees in here. Can I get something in there? I don't want that big one. Yeah, actually like that. That kind of fills it in nicely. I could maybe put a garbage can on the end here. And then maybe a couple of trees over here. Actually, maybe kind of behind this stuff. Let's just get a couple more just for a little bit more shade. I think that looks pretty good. And then over here I might get something. Okay, this is where we need to figure out where the rest of our park wants to go. Let's get obviously our first ride. I don't know how close to our little entrance we want our first ride. I guess we could maybe put maybe something cool. Let's see if we have for flat rides here. Obviously we got our sorcery pack. I just want to show you guys this really quick. This is absolutely insane. I think it's at the bottom or maybe at the top here. It's a giant castle. Like it's absolutely crazy. It's brand new into the game with our sorcery pack. Like look at these. You got like a giant castle, and this could honestly be Oh, that's actually pretty cool. We also have like a couple other little ones. Maybe you could put some shops in there. That's actually really sweet. We could definitely mess around with that. Another little shop. That's actually so cool. I don't know if this is sorcery based. These are like kind of hobbit houses. Or not hobbit, but like, what do you call that? Hogwarts. That's actually so cool. And in fact, I might get this just for like a little bit of decoration in here. Might be kind of cool. Maybe kind of just like this. When people come through, I feel like that's kind of cool. Now let's see if we can edit this. So obviously we have this. Let's duplicate that and just draw this in kind of just to here. Nothing too crazy, and that's obviously attached to there just so it actually kind of comes in to this nicely. And let's maybe take these bushes as well. Edit our building. Let's grab these bushes as well as that one. And then we could throw a couple more in here. Maybe actually spin this around just so it's not exactly the same. I think that looks a little bit better. This is actually pretty cool. Got a little fenced off area. That's looking real nice. I love that actually. That really just adds a lot. Okay, let's get our first flat ride. Let's get something cool. So we got some Viking stuff. Aquatic hammer. Are there any like cool sorcery flat rides? Let's go by hide unknown. We gotta show unknown or unknown DLCs. We kind of have this, and we could put this right off of here. Maybe kind of tucked in back throughout here. I actually like this ride. Let's throw that in right there. And it's a little bit, yeah, they kind of have it built into the ground, which is interesting. But up here is a little bit different. Let's just take this. And that's probably size 12. No, I think maybe size 10. We could just kind of come up here like that. I don't mind that. And in fact, I could maybe take this and just get going a little bit closer. That's actually still a little bit too big. And then once we get to the top, I can get a little set of stairs. I think I like that a little bit better. And then I might have to do something cool here. Obviously, let's see, we need like a cool entrance. What can we do for an entrance? Obviously, we had our pizza pen here. This is what I wanted to get. This looks quite nice and dandy. Where can we even put this thing? Obviously, people enter through here. This is where, okay, let's get our little pizza pen. Maybe even just right off the corner here. Might be kind of cool. What do we think about that? Let's go ahead and do that. Sure, why not? And let's stamp some of this in here. Let's lower this down. And actually, let's maybe take this. And we can stamp all of this in instead. We can stamp that in. There, that looks a lot better. And then we can take a rounding tool, which I absolutely love to use now. We can kind of round those off. Maybe as well as this one back here. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Okay, we got our pizza pen in here. That's looking real nice. I need some kind of grand entrance in here. So let's go to our things here. Let's see if we can find a nice entrance to our park. This is usually one of my go-tos. I feel like this would look pretty good. The only issue is it's not really wide enough. Let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger maybe. Or we can maybe use these things. You can kind of make it bigger, make it smaller. This is also pretty cool. I could probably like put this maybe kind of like in its backyard. I feel like that'd be sweet. Let's just throw this like right, maybe just like right there, and then I could get rid of this rock. And that actually looks pretty cool. There's a couple other, like I had a couple entrances picked out. Oh my gosh, just like a giant castle. That's actually crazy. Let's just get this maybe. Let's face it this way. That's actually so cool. It's like a giant castle coming up through here. It's growing through the trees. I really like that. So we have a couple of entrances. I actually love this sorcery pack. Like you can put so much cool stuff in here. Like I can maybe twist this around and have it going. Like maybe even make it a little bit smaller, just so it kind of fits in here nicely. Let's maybe just twist it kind of like that. It's actually so cool. And then I need some kind of like little decorations in here. Sorcery archway. This is what I want. This is exactly what I want, and that's exactly what I'm gonna get. That would really tie all of this together. Obviously this path might have to go somewhere else. Like maybe even bring it kind of around back through here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that because it's definitely in the way. Let's kind of just take it back this way. And maybe just kind of go through here? I don't know. Let's see what we want to do with that. Let's lower that. And let's see if we can just get going right through here maybe. I don't mind that. Kind of just have a path going through there. That cleans this up a little bit. And then we could really mess around with this stuff a little bit more. Oh, that's actually so cool. Any other sorcery stuff? This is obviously a cool grand entrance to our park. But I would get this nice wide one. I feel like that might be a little bit nicer. Let's go maybe just like this. Right at the entrance. Kind of angle it like that. I feel like that should be pretty good. And we also still have these kind of fences like this. Let's see if we can edit this. Can I take this? In fact, let's maybe grab both of these and let's see if we can duplicate that. Actually, I'm fine with that. We can maybe put something in here to kind of just tie this in a little bit more. Maybe like this. We can really just kind of go crazy here, can't you? Let's grab one of those. And I guess to make this a little bit more symmetrical, I could have one maybe just right there. Just to keep things nice and symmetrical. I would like to maybe take this fence and maybe wrap it around a little bit further. Let's take this, edit our building. Let's grab our fence here. And then we could duplicate that. Let's see if we can just kind of wrap this around. Somewhat just like this. Then it kind of simulates that like, no, definitely don't come this way because you shall perish. Nope. We'll just get a fence there. This is good. This is all looking real nice. I don't know if I want to get this fence and kind of continue it on. I feel like it would be kind of cool, but you also need like I might even do something with this. So let's actually lower our size a little bit. Intensity, hardness, that looks decent. Let's just kind of make this a little bit better. Right now it's kind of, I don't know, a little bit jagged. So let's see if we can just kind of make it a little bit better. Kind of raise this up a little bit. Make it a little bit more mountainous. Might be kind of cool. Don't mind that. Maybe get a couple of trees in here. I want to keep it semi-open. So let's just see what it gives us. No, that's definitely too big. Align the surface, avoid paths. That's fine. Could just get a couple of trees in there. Let's get a couple more trees in there just to kind of shade that a little bit more. Make this look as good as we can. That looks pretty good. I could probably put a couple more rocks in here just so people don't come this way. So let's get some terrain, maybe some nice large rocks or something. Just bigger. No, that's definitely too big. Just like a couple more in here. Maybe a few more in this area. Let's get rid of a couple of these. Some that we don't necessarily like. Okay, I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, we have our first ride, and obviously we'll have to test this. Let's get another distributor for this. Now how much do we get? 240 power. So that's good. Let's take this, our distributor, and let's put this maybe just attached to the back of this thing, maybe. Or just kind of back, like just like that. And then we could take it right back to there, and now we have power for all of this cool stuff. So we got our first ride. Let's test this out. Actually, we don't even really need to, do we? Let's open it up and let's do a bargain price of $21 to ride that ride. I guess we could open up our park now. Where is our entrance? So I guess we technically have two. We can open up all of those, and then all of these should also be open. Okay, there we go. And in fact, I should get rid of these ticket booths. I might actually do that. Nope, it's not gonna work. Let's just leave them. We'll have two little ticket booths. We can charge them twice, whatever. We'll keep it free to actually enter the park, because then once they enter the park, they will spend money on various rides. But here they come. Here comes our first guest to our park. All excited. It's 8 a.m. so they are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed here. So they're nice and happy to enter our park. I think this looks pretty good. I might have to do something to kind of make this a little bit nicer. Like I could probably have, let's do something cool. Let's go to our terrain tool. Let's lower this just a little bit. And maybe our hardness. Let's lower it just a tiny bit. I'd like to get just a little pond in here, just for our staff. I think they'd appreciate that. Kind of just like that. Let's see if we can put some water in here. I mean, it's not that nice. Let's try to make this a little bit better. A little bit deeper, maybe. And then let's see if we can put some water in here. That looks a little bit better. A little bit higher. I might actually move this tree. Actually, I think it's attached to that. So let's just get rid of that. And then I could maybe put a couple of other trees in here. Maybe some rocks. I just came from playing Jurassic World Evolution 2. That game has the absolute best tools for just laying stuff down. Like, it just works so seamlessly. Let's just get a couple of rocks in here. And then delete the ones we don't like. Like, just like some of these. And we can maybe keep some of those. Okay, let's see. We can get some trees in here now. Maybe like some in here. Gotta just make this look a little bit nicer, a little bit more lived in. Just a nice little pond. I think that looks pretty good. A couple more trees in here. Let's edit our scenery group. Get rid of that one. That one could maybe stay. Okay, that looks a lot better. Got a nice little pond in here for them. I think that looks good. And then over here I could maybe do... I don't know what I want to do over here. I guess we could even just leave it kind of open. Maybe throw in a couple of trees. I mean, when in doubt, just throw some trees down. Just to kind of hide some of this. Maybe some on the edge here. And then maybe a couple in there, just to make it nice and cozy. Okay, I think that looks a little bit better. Let's get a couple more rides. So obviously this one is open. People are paying to go into it. $21 each. That's absolutely insane. So we got 61 guests. Okay, we actually don't have a research. I think we just have unlimited research. Let's actually take a look at this. I'm pretty sure we have every roller coaster available to us, so that's actually kind of nice. And I kind of want to see, I bet you there's some more like, is there sorcery rides available to us now? That'd be kind of cool. I guess we'll have to kind of see. What I might do is I'm going to take this path and I'm just kind of going to draw it out maybe this way just to create a little bit more room for a couple more rides. I maybe want to put a roller coaster in here just so we can kind of see as they're exiting. They're like, oh, look at all the fun we just had. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So let's get this and let's just go maybe a size 8. It doesn't have to be too big. And let's, I I kind of want to leave a little bit of room just in between this and that ride. Let's just get going out like that. I could get a couple of nice big roller coasters in here. And obviously let's go to our coasters and see what we want to get in here. I don't know if there's any sorcery. Like let's maybe see if we can go to our content packs, sorcery packs. So there might be a couple here. Okay. That's actually pretty cool. So we got Torque. We got Ultraviolet, which would be cool. Sky Sailor, which is also very cool. Which one's the cheapest? So these are actually not too expensive. Ultraviolet, let's take a look at this one. So, oh my gosh, that's huge. This could probably go here, actually. And I might even put this kind of on the corner. Let's see if we can get a nice space for this. If we can go like right off of the corner of this, that would be pretty ideal. Literally just like right there. Let's take a look at this thing. This is actually so cool. Ultraviolet, you got like lines coming up through here. That's so cool. So let's get a path going through here. What's our entrance and exit? I think this is maybe our entrance. So let's just take this. I feel like it's got quite a bit of a line there. So I'm just gonna take maybe this and get going straight to there. This could get coming right off of here, and I think that's probably like maybe a size 5. Let's even go size 4. And I'll kind of split off like this just to leave a little bit of room in the front here just for something cool. So that's actually really sweet. I can maybe put, I don't know, some kind of scenery piece in here. Honestly, let's just lock in. Let's do a sorcery build in this giant park. So this is definitely lots of cool stuff that you can put in here. This DLC is pretty good. I feel like the value is decent. I feel like it's definitely pretty good. So let's get one of these in here. Right there. Honestly, didn't have to think too much about that. And then I'd like to maybe get something semi-small, like even like this. Yes. That is exactly what I want to put in here. So they're kind of just attacking that little stone there. Got their little magic wands. This guy's got like, oh my gosh, that looks like, oh, I gotta watch Harry Potter again. It's been way too long. I forget the name of all that stuff. Okay, that's good. Let's get this bad boy tested and ready to go. Let's get it tested. We are gonna need some power going to here. So I guess let's get, did I open all these? Oh my gosh, all of them are closed. I apologize. I apologize for my shenanigans. Let's open up all of this stuff. We can open this as well. All of this stuff. Get it all ready to go. And I think we even have lots of shops over here that we didn't quite open yet. Let's do that. We have 0 staff as well, so we definitely need to get some staff before we continue to build some more rides. Let's do some first things first. Let's get some staff. We're gonna need a couple of janitors. Let's get maybe 2 janitors to start. A mechanic. Let's get a couple more vendors because we're gonna need some people to take over all of that stuff. Ride attendants, we could also get maybe 1 more. Lifeguard, security guard we'll also get. And of course, our chief beef man. I'll maybe put him, where's our chief beef? Do we know where that is? Might be over here somewhere, so let's get that. We got our rides in full force here. And maybe to spread a little bit of joy here, let's put our queen bee there, Queen Splash. Okay, there we go. Got lots of staff members. And let's maybe get some garbage cans as well. I don't know where the heck this is now. It's a park. I think it's custom. Let's get some trash cans in here. Are there sorcery ones now? There better be. Sci-fi bin. Sorcery bin, okay. I'm kind of curious, is it glowing? It better be glowing. It better be at least glowing. Yeah, let's get some bins in here. Maybe one kind of tucked in there. Maybe one, maybe right on the corner here. Right on the corner, that might be fine. Maybe one, I kind of want to leave this open, so let's just kind of put a bin there. We're going to need some bins throughout here as well. Let's maybe get one right there. One right in the middle of there. Right in the middle of there. And maybe one over here as well. Nothing too insane. I could maybe actually have some bins over here. Let's just get a couple just to kind of get a couple more. Over here we have some, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave that. Okay, we have 125 guests. That's actually pretty good. Let's go over to here. And let's get a new distributor for this guy. So this could probably go, and in fact, they might even have left a little spot for us here. Can we just attach it? Let's do this. Let's edit our coaster. No, we don't want to edit our coaster. Can we edit or add a power facility? Oh my gosh. That is much needed. So we have a power distributor. Can I just literally put this? I mean, yeah, that kind of works, but let's see if we can put it in a better spot than that. There, I can connect it right to there. That's perfect. Okay, let's take this all the way back to there, and now we have power to this bad boy. That's probably going to suck quite a bit of power, actually, so let's see how much we have left. Okay, we still have 135 available. Reduced capacity. Okay, so that should be fine. Conditions still doing pretty good. That is the only power on our entire park, so we got to be a little bit careful. But let's go ahead and open this up. Let's set it to bargain pricing. $22 is actually pretty fair. I think that's decent. And since we have, oh, we got like the little switching. That's actually kind of cool. Okay, I want to ride this thing. So let's go to camera. Is that what we want to do? Yeah, I guess camera. And let's go guest, interest. We could do a cinematic. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, kind of a little bit of a slow start. Hope you're not too nauseous yet. Okay, we got some speed here. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of Velocicoaster. Okay, we got some twisties here, some speed going on. A little bit more speed. Oh, was that supposed to happen? I guess so. Whoa. That's actually so cool. So that sends you back to pick up even more speed for this. Okay, that is clever. That's actually really cool. Just get to the top, drop all the way down. It's absolutely crazy. Let's go into like cinematic mode here. Let's check out from an outside perspective. Yeah, this is easily my new favorite ride in the game. Oh, that's so sweet. Ultraviolet, I think it's called. Thank you, Planet Coaster team, for making such a cool roller coaster for us to ride. Little barrel roll there. Okay, this is a cool ride. I definitely like this one. Let's get back up to here, and that is the ride, ladies and gentlemen. So that's quite cool, actually. I quite enjoy that. I could probably fill this in with like, let's maybe first of all, let's get a little bit of terrain. And I know some of you say, oh, he's got the terrain brush again. I'm not going to go too crazy, I promise. I just want a little bit of like, just kind of terrain in through here. I want to put some castles in through here is kind of what I'm thinking, but I just want to like especially this long side, I feel like it needs to have something. Just to not feel like it's just a barren wasteland. Let's maybe do like that. I don't know if I'm completely sold on that yet, but let's go to our scenery. Let's go to some buildings, go to our blueprints, and go to our castles. So we could do something crazy with this. What do we want to do? Where's our castles? Here's some. I want to get this giant castle in here. And in fact, this can probably fit. I don't know where I want to put this thing. Obviously, it kind of has a little bit of like an entrance theme to it. I could probably put this maybe kind of like right in there. Is that random? I don't know if that's too random. Obviously, super cool castle. No, that's fine. I think that looks pretty good. And then we can kind of decorate around it. I'll add some paint. Let's maybe do a couple more little dressings in here, maybe. As soon as you come off here, let's maybe have our nice scary spider, or maybe we could fit this somewhere else. Have a little scary spider here. Maybe adjust our size, make it a little bit bigger. Let's move this around. Okay, we can have that right there. How does that look? I feel like that's kind of cool as soon as you come in here. That's also very Hagrid's, that motorcycle ride at Universal. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, and then we also need to put something in here. Like if we're using all of our source... Oh. That's kind of cool. Let's throw that in there. That's actually pretty sweet. That should raise our prestige level. Oh yeah, that's 4.5 stars. I could probably try and get a little bit bigger or higher, but I think that should be decent. That is going to bring in quite a bit of guests. In fact, I might even do a little bit of advertising. Okay, so we actually need 500 guests before we can even do that, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer. This guy's open. This guy is not open, so let's go ahead and do that. Get some staff assigned. That should bring in quite a few people to our park. I'm excited for that. Let's make this a little bit nicer here. So obviously if I want to put in a couple of trees in here maybe, just to kind of pretend like this castle has been here for ages. Get a couple of trees just like that. And then maybe behind here I could also get a couple right behind our spider. Just like that. I think that makes it look just a little bit nicer. And maybe even here I could have like a pond area. Might be kind of cool. Okay, actually here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little pond, maybe with like a little island just for another building kind of like this. So let's lower this just a touch. Just like that. Just to create a little bit of room for some water. Something like that. And then we could lower this, maybe flatten it out a little bit, just to give it all even. And then maybe roughen it up a tiny bit at the bottom. Something like that. Okay, let's maybe raise this up a tiny bit. Something like that maybe. And maybe in here, just to kind of make it a little bit better. Let's do a little bit of decorating. Let's get some water in here. And like I said, I wanted a little space for some other kind of building in here. Like maybe right in here. So let's actually lower our size a little bit. And let's take just a little platform. Actually, maybe kind of tucked in over here might be kind of cool. And then we can go ahead and get rid of all this again. Just to create a little bit of space. Actually, I think this is, let's kind of flatten that out a little bit. Kind of just like that. Let's maybe get a little bit more space for this thing. Something like that. Let's go check out our scenery here again. So we could get a nice tall tower here. A little bit different from that one, which is kind of cool. Or we could go with like, we do have this thing, which is pretty sweet. In fact, this might be kind of cool. I'll see if we can maybe link that in with that. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet. Oh, this thing might be kind of sweet. Okay, let's create a little bit more room in here. I'd love to have this kind of floating right in the middle. Kind of our original idea. So let's just have this right in the middle here. And then I could maybe, let's go ahead and set this down first. Let's put this right in here, just like that. That's actually so cool. And then we'll have some water kind of surrounding that. Let's get our terrain brush and then we can kind of fix in some of these spots. Something like that. Okay, I like that. And then let's actually take this and create a little bit more room for some water. Just kind of like that. Just some water kind of around there. And then some of these spots we'll have to make sure we have room for our platform. Let's bring that back actually a little bit. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. Create a little bit more space in here. Okay, I think that should be good. Let's get some water in here. And let's maybe close this off just a little bit. Let's push this back just a touch. And yeah, this is actually gonna look really good with all that water. And let's actually increase our intensity, our size. And let's kind of just round this off a little bit. Get kind of like a little mountain. Now just kind of paint this in here. Kinda. Sorry for all the kindas. Okay, that looks better. Let's paint this in. And let's paint it, maybe a rough rock, maybe just, yeah, kind of a rough rock. Let's see how that looks. Make it look a little bit more daring. Okay, that looks good. Paint that in a little bit, and then up here, I think I might even paint it a little bit. Just so it's not perfectly green. Okay, that looks a lot better. And then maybe even throughout this whole ride, I might kind of add a little bit of texture. Like, these aren't scary enough. I need to just kind of paint in some of this stuff. Our happy little palm trees. See, that's just kind of ruining the vibe. I need some more rough rock in here. Kind of throughout here. That's already looking a lot better. And maybe the bottom of this we could paint. And maybe the outside of this. Just keep the overall aesthetic as scary as possible. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Let's maybe paint this a little bit more. And I might actually take this up a little bit higher. Let's increase our size. Kind of just like this. Raise it up. And maybe even take this kind of around through here. Let's make it look like these buildings have been there for thousands and thousands of years. Let's kind of just go like that. Yeah, this is actually shaping up pretty nice. I could probably put something... Let's maybe get our water in there first. Let's get our water. Let's see what that looks like. It actually looks pretty good. I could go a little bit higher. Should I? Let's try that. No, that's definitely too high. Let's just go with that. Just a little moat kind of around there. That looks better. Okay, what else do we want to get in here? I feel like we could have something here. Just where we have our little track switches. Oh, that's actually cool. So this kind of goes... Yeah, this is what they came up and then got more speed. This goes through here. Goes up. This track switches. And then takes you all the way back here. Oh, that's so cool. Clever, clever girl. Okay, that's good. Let's maybe get our entrance looking a little bit better. I could get some large rocks. Maybe not quite like that. There's a couple of those, and then maybe put some more trees in here. Just like that. I could paint this in a little bit more, get some more trees. Maybe have... Actually, maybe some smaller trees in here. No, that doesn't look very good. Kind of just like that. Add a little bit of trees. Some plants. Some small stones, maybe. That's actually looking quite nice. I'm gonna get rid of a couple of these rocks. Like that one, maybe that one. Okay, things are shaping up here. They are shaping up quite nicely. Let's paint in some rough rock in here as well. Like all of this. Just kind of create an aesthetic. Okay, that looks pretty good. I don't know what I want to do in here. Let's see if we have any other scenery. I can maybe get like, no, we already used those. Maybe something like that. Maybe as they're coming in. Or maybe this would actually be cool to do like that. Or over this part maybe. Should we do that? We already have this. We could literally just put it over top. Oh, I don't know what I want to do. I actually don't love some of these trees that we put in here. I'm gonna get rid of those. Let's actually move this and see if we can fit this kind of like this instead. We want to make sure our track is nice and secure. I think that should be perfect. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's a lot cooler. And now it's kind of integrated into that. Okay, that's a lot better. I am happy with that. Let's get a couple of trees in here. And maybe some, something like that maybe. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe some rocks. Actually, let's get rid of those. Let's get some larger rocks in here. Again, this has been here for thousands of years. Just kind of get some rocks. And then maybe some smaller plants maybe. Actually, let's get rid of those. I like the way that was looking. Okay, that is quite a bit better. And this is looking pretty good. I actually like this ride now. I don't want to go too heavily with all of these decorations, but I think it's definitely looking a little bit better. Let's get some more trees maybe in here. There's trees behind there. And then maybe in through here as well. No, that doesn't look good. Align to surface, avoid paths, scenery. Let's avoid scenery. So let's see if we can, let's maybe put some in here instead. Something like that. Let's maybe lower our size. I don't know if that would help. No, let's just leave that. Let's get rid of all that. I am fine with that being kind of grassy. I can maybe spread out a little bit of trees in here just to kind of help this. I want people to be able to see all that kind of track switching if we can. Oh, this is looking so cool. I love the way this is looking. Let's get a couple of trees in here maybe. And I could probably put maybe a couple of trees in here. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. That is our first ride, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have anybody over here yet. We only have 161 guests in our park. They're all coming to this ride, which is actually kind of crazy that nobody's come over here. Let's kind of close this in a little bit. Just get a couple of trees in here and maybe some larger rocks. Make it look a little bit better. Kind of like that. Okay, that's our first roller coaster. Absolutely love that. What else do we have? I don't want to spend too much money because we are going to run out. But I want something maybe a little bit... This is perfect. This is exactly what we want. There's kind of a nice little, sky sailor. It's actually pretty cool. This could go maybe kind of just tucked in over here. I don't mind that at all. Let's just connect that there. Connect this like that. And obviously we'll need some power. What I could do is maybe let's go to our facilities, go to our blueprints. I'm going to get another large solar panel if we can. So where is our old one? Let's maybe flip this around and see if I can just connect it to this maybe. Or I don't know, maybe just put it on this side. Yeah, let's just do that, I guess. And then we'll need a distributor over here. So let's get this set up. Maybe just, where's our ride attendant? We could probably just go right there. I don't want them to be able to see the generator, but they'll kind of see it no matter what. Yeah, let's just get that. Just right there should be fine. And then we could take that back, connect it to that generator, and that should be perfect. Now we have power to this guy. Let's test it. Let's set our ticket pricing. See, $5 is definitely not a lot. We'll have to do some crazy decorations in here to make this worthwhile. Let's kind of ride this thing as well. This one's going out. Let's do a cinematic view of this. Nope, that looks terrible. Let's ride this thing. This one's kind of just like a nice small ride. Perfect. Just for the kids. We don't need just crazy roller coasters for everything. We want some that little kids can ride too. They're here to have a good time, just like the rest of us. Okay, I think this ride should be perfect. What's this called? Sky something? This is quite cool. Nice little ride. I actually like that. That looks perfect. Then you finish off, you get off, you go ride it again and again and again and again until you're absolutely sick in the stomach. Okay, we already have some people coming into here. How's our lineup looking? I feel like this is kind of like a lot of those bigger rides where they're just like, not a lot of people come to them, so you can usually get on them pretty easily. Let's actually set this so where can I click on this maybe? Okay, let's set this operations. So friction, I don't want to mess with that. Let's go maybe a full load loading rules. Yeah, let's just do a half load. Minimum weight, I don't need to mess with that. Prestige is 5 stars now, so that's perfect. This should bring in a lot of people, hopefully. We need to get our park rating up a little bit more. So honestly, I'm just going to take this to here. We got a ride here. I could probably do some kind of set piece in here. So let's actually do maybe a cool mountain over here. A cool mountain, just kind of tying into that little rock face. Let's increase our intensity. I don't want to go too far. Let's kind of do something like that. And then I'd kind of like to get a nice big water area in here. Just as they're exiting, I could even do like a kind of a bridge to there. Might look good. And this will kind of just be the end of the line. In fact, I might even just take this back a couple notches. Just like that. And round this off with our new favorite rounding tool. Okay, there we go. Now it looks like that is just the absolute end of the park. And that is what we want it to look like. So let's build this up. Nice and high. Kind of just like that. And then as you're exiting, you can see all of this glorious water in through here. Let's build this up a little bit higher. Nice big mountain pass. I think that looks good. Let's throw some water in there, see how it looks. Okay, it doesn't quite get over to here. How can we make that look better? I guess just dig a little deeper, I guess. Let's push into here, and I'll have to get rid of some of those trees. That's actually so cool. I should put some supports on this, actually. Okay, let's go to here. Let's put some supports down. Let's go to here. Supports should be somewhere. Add rails. We'll have to add some rails for sure. Path extras. Add supports. Okay, let's go ahead and paint this in with our customized bush. We can put some supports just like that. I think that should be just fine. And then we can get some railings on either side as well. Just as they're exiting. Get some railings on this side. I think that'll look good. Just like that. Then over here, we'll do the same. Just a nice massive ridge. Looks really good for our park. You would leave. Okay, that's perfect. We got some supports. We got one up there. I think that should be good for that. Let's get rid of some of these, because they are floating. That's not good for anybody. I mean, it is a sorcery park, so we might be able to get away with it, but let's just kind of do that. Let's get our water in here first, maybe. Let's check this out. So let's go to here, get our water. We could do rough water. What does that look like? That's actually pretty cool. Let's go up a little bit higher. There we go. We want it to really fill in this area. In fact, I might make this a little bit higher up if we're going to do that. Just kind of make a nice big mountain area. We want the exit to feel like a ride too. Okay, that looks good. Let's throw in our rough water, natural water, rough water. Let's do just like that, honestly. I feel like that looks pretty good. And then we could maybe put a boat in here or something cool. What do we have for boats? Is there any cool boats that we could put in here? Or maybe even like this. Should we tie this into our mountain? Might actually be pretty cool. Where do we want to put that? Maybe like right as they're leaving. Let's kind of just lower it. Push it into our hill. Kind of just like that, honestly. Just build it into the cliffside here. I think that looks pretty good. And then, yeah, let's get a couple of boats on this. Let's see where we can find some. Let's actually make this a little bit cooler. We have like these sorcery buildings. This could be like maybe kind of built into here as well. This is actually cool. Let's do this. And then we can lower this down. Let's actually just lower it right to the height of this. How does that look? I actually feel like that's pretty cool. Obviously, we'll have to get rid of that little sign. It is not a coffee building. And then let's grab our terrain. And we can just sort of adjust this. Just so it looks like kind of into the building. I think that, or the... Yeah, that looks, it's pretty good. So push that back a little bit. Get rid of this little rock. That plant. Okay, that looks pretty good, honestly. That's kind of incorporated into the mountain. I still haven't found any boats. I have been looking. Okay, here's some. We got some Viking boats. Let's maybe get one right into the harbor here, maybe. In fact, I want some kind of like a little docking area. I wonder if that exists. Well, let's just get our boats in here for now. Maybe just kind of out. In fact, it'd be kind of cool to have one like this and then sort of just lean it up onto here. Kind of just like that. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Now, I might have to lower it a little bit. Just so it's actually in the water. Okay, there we go. It's kind of crash landed. I think that'll look pretty good. And then this is kind of like their little, you climb down the ladder, do a backflip off into the water. That's kind of what this was. I mean, the sorcery people had their fun as well. They didn't just do lame things all the time. Okay, I'm still looking for like a docking area. Let's get maybe a nice big boat over here. Facing maybe into our harbor. If we can find one of those, let's lower this down to water level. Put it in the water. I think that looks pretty good. And then I can maybe even have... I feel like this would be kind of cool. I can maybe lower that into the earth. No, I don't think that's gonna work. I might have to add a little bit more stuff if that were to happen. Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. So this I'll actually put maybe right on ground level like that. And I can maybe lower it just a little bit just so it's in the water. Let's see if we can get a nice... kind of just like that. There, that's perfect. And now this I might actually move. Let's move that just kind of, maybe even kind of faced in like that. That'd be kind of cool. And obviously we'll have to lower it again. Put our oars in the water. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty sweet. I'm going to take our terrain, maybe kind of paint this in a little bit. Make it look better. Add some of that, and then might even go up a little bit higher over here. What do we think? Let's just kind of do that a little bit higher. Add some rolling hills. Pretend we're in like we're in Scotland or something cool. Yeah, that's good. This is looking a little bit better. I could probably put something over here as well. Maybe something. I think this is actually pretty good. This is a nice exit. We have a roller coaster over here. Let's maybe get some kind of cool scenery here. We can go based off of this, maybe like a church. Oh, this is for staff. That's actually kind of cool. Some staff facilities. Or we could also do like maybe something like this right on top of here. It's got some steam coming out of it. A couple of wizards doing some stuff. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Let's raise this up just a touch. Okay, there we go. Maybe even put some trees in here. That's a little bit too much going on there. That's actually nice. Let's do that. Then in here I could add a couple of trees as well. And over here as well. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't know if I love them being able to see this, so I might actually raise this up a little bit as well. Let's increase our size. Let's kind of just do a nice rock wall for as they're leaving. Oh, I think I screwed that up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Let's kind of just do this and build kind of up through there. Okay, there we go. Lower that a tiny bit. That looks better. And this is kind of integrated in like this. They come over the water. That looks pretty sweet. Okay, this ride is semi-done. I could probably put something here as well, maybe. What can I put here? We got some shops. I could probably do like maybe a big version of this might be kind of cool. That'll start separating our stone. This would be cool. I could get something like this. What else do I want to get? This is... Let's do this. Let's maybe just put one of these up here. Just to kind of integrate in with that. That looks pretty cool. Then in here I could have a nice grassy area. Or actually maybe a little pond. Let's do a little pond in here. When in doubt, just throw a pond in there, honestly. Just throw a pond in there and then we can raise up these edges a tiny bit. Let's actually just take it right out to here. And we can raise this up a tiny bit again. Let's lower our size and our intensity. We can build this up a little bit higher. Kinda just like that. I don't want them to necessarily see this pond from over there, so let's just kind of raise this up a tiny bit. Kind of just like that. Now let's throw some water in there. And let's see how that looks. I want to go a little bit higher. Let's go like even just to there. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Got some nice water in there. Let's get another boat. Why not? Let's get another boat. You never have too many boats. Let's get one, maybe like a docked one with their sails up. Might be kind of cool. And then we can lower this into the water. Let's see. About right there. That looks perfect. Okay, we got some nice decorations going on for this stuff. This is looking pretty nice. This ride is in full effect. We got some nice decorations for all. Actually, what's our ride? Prestige. So 2 stars is climbing a little bit. Can't charge too much for it, but they are going over there. And in fact, let's maybe have a bathroom over here, just in case anybody pukes. Let's go to custom. Let's lower this a little bit. Let's get our bathroom. Let's go to our blueprint, sorry. And then we can get a toilet in here. Are there sorcery ones? Let's actually see. Let's see if there's some sorcery pack bathrooms. There is not. That's so sad. Okay, let's just get like maybe these brick toilets. That's actually pretty cool. Let's get these. We can just kind of tuck them in by our trees there. That should be fine. Grab our path. We'll match this one. And just go like that. Connect to there. And that should be perfect. Got some toilets over here. I could probably get maybe a little drink thing. We're still pretty close to this, aren't we? Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's get some, so we had, yeah, these scenery buildings. We have these. So I could put a building or two in here. Yeah, let's maybe this bigger one might be kind of better. Let's put it right back in here. Twist it. Oh, not that way. Let's twist it this way. And then lower it just a tiny bit. How does that look? Now, if we get our building in here, obviously we'll have to go facilities. We got our toilets there. Let's get some food vendors. Obviously, let's go with custom. What do we want to put over here? Maybe like Viva La Vegan. Pizza pen we already have. Hot dog squad. Let's get a sushi place. Now, this might not work. I might have to flatten this a little bit. Interesting. I wonder why it's doing that. Auto stacking. We don't want it to stack. There we go. That's better. Let's get one of those. Let's get a drink place. Cosmic cow egg. Let's get a gulpy. Let's get a gulpy up in here. And in fact, I wonder if I could do a bigger... Yeah, for both of this. Let's see. Let's just, let's go size 8 maybe. There we go. Now we got one for both of those. That is perfect. That's nicely integrated. Let's get some trees in here. Maybe a couple back here as well. Just to fill in this area. Okay, that is much better. Got some nice water in here. In fact, I could probably even put a... Yes, our hobbit hole. We always have our hobbit holes. We never leave a video until we put hobbit holes down. So let's go to... yeah, let's stay on there. Where are these things? I'm gonna quickly find them. Okay, we got some here. So let's go with like... This is pretty cool. This could maybe go right like that. Let's lower this a tiny bit. And let's go ahead and push it right back into here. And I will have to adjust our... Maybe bring it out just a tiny bit. I'll have to adjust the terrain a little bit, but that looks pretty good. I'll have to get some terrain coming out here. Just for that. Let's get rid of this water. Let's delete that, and then let's just take this and just get a little platform. Nope, that's not good. Let's see if we can get a platform like right there. Then maybe raise it up just a tiny bit, lower our intensity. Let's just kind of do something like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's maybe raise that up a tiny bit. And now we can throw our water back in here. Oh, that is gorgeous. Got a little hobbit hole. That is the first one. We're going to try and put some more in here. In fact, I think we have it too high now. I like that height a little bit better. Let's just raise this up, I guess. Unless we want a sunken ship. Okay, there we go. Perfect. That looks a lot better. Okay, this is looking absolutely epic. People are coming to ride the ride, so that's exciting. That's all done. I think I got that squared away. Oh, not the right track. I'm gonna click on that. Let's actually open it. So we didn't actually open it yet. $5, that's actually decent. It'll attract some more people. We need to wait till we get 500 more guests here. Let's actually speed this up a little bit. Let's continue on the rest of our park here. Let's just kind of go with this, and I wish we would set the width that it was, but we can do that all by ourselves. Let's just kind of go, I mean, we could kind of wrap around here, or we could continue on through here. Let's kind of just get going this way, and then we can start circling that way. Okay, let's get a couple more rides. Is this pretty far away from our original food courts? We kind of have this one, a couple little food vendors here. I think it might be kind of nice to have our own little food court area in here. So I'm actually going to take a path coming off of here. I could probably even go with a size 10. And let's just come right off of here. I mean, it'd be nice to maybe even just have it right in here, right off of this path, wouldn't it? Or kind of tucked in here might be kind of cool. No, I don't think I need to get too complicated with that. I'm just gonna grab my line drawing tool and let's just take a path right off of here. And we can kind of just taper it in going through here. Kind of just into this area. How does that look? I think that should be pretty decent. Then we can just get that all the way back to there. And then we got a nice big food court area. Let's round off our edges. My new favorite thing in the world. I don't know if I can actually. Well, maybe I can't. That's because I drew it in. Okay, that is fine. Let's get some facility buildings here. So obviously we're gonna need some food. What we could even do is we have a giant food court available to us. If I can find that. Let's see if we can find it. We got a giant food court right here. And honestly, I feel like that would look kind of nice. Maybe even right in here. No, let's have it like right here. If we can. Kind of tucked in right off the edge. Maybe even right in the middle here. If we can. Let's go right there. And then if we lower this to the ground, I think that should be absolutely perfect. We'll see how that looks. We'll have to adjust this, but I think that should be just fine. So we got this kind of open. We're going to need a lot of power going to that. We have made $12,000 today. That's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Let's grab our editing tool. And maybe actually let's come off of here. Let's grab our editing tool again. And let's see if we can, I guess we could maybe do that. Let's see if we can morph into that. See if we can make this even a little bit better. Honestly, I don't hate that. I mean, if I round this off, that might be a winner. Let's see if we can, yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to. Let's just see if we can round it off. Just like that. And that's pretty decent. It's somewhat similar to that. Okay, we got our food court here. I'm gonna need a distribution center. So I mean, if I put one somewhere in the middle here, I think that might be pretty good. So let's get this. Let's get a distributor on our new solar panel. And this could probably even go, I mean, I guess we could even put this like right there. Literally, right? Oh, I kind of liked where I had it before. Let's just go with that if it's not going to cooperate. And then let's go to facilities, custom, and then we can grab some power here. Potentially, let's grab some power. Take it all the way back to here. Okay, there we go. Now we are fully powered in our food court. It's nice to kind of have like a mid, like this is just the entrance. If we have a nice big food court right off of here, I think that's perfect. I think that is exactly what we're going for. So let's go to the top floor first. We got a few restaurants here that we can open. Let's go ahead and open that Latte Love. Gotta make sure we open a Gelato Bros and Gulby. This is so cool. Whoever built this, A+. Looks absolutely phenomenal. There's nothing back here other than some seating. And look at that, toilets downstairs. So if we go downstairs, we can actually see all of that. So there's nothing out here. There's our distributor there. We'll go through here. We got Chief Beef. Let's open Cosmic Cow. Hot Dog Squad. Gotta have a Hot Dog Squad. And what else is here? It says toilets. Okay, there's toilets. Oh, we're stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Still stuck. Let's go back in. I think we even opened everything that we needed to. Yeah, there we got some bathrooms in there. I don't know if we have to open those. Okay, they're already open. All of this stuff is open, so that is perfect. We have survived the food court. Let's go back out here. Here comes our first customers. Looks like they're heading up there. Look at this. Already paying off. What are they gonna go for? We got a little bit going to Gelato Bros. Looks like they're getting a latte, some Latte Love. So that's good. We kind of got, ooh, actually a generator would have fit nicely in there, but we got our garbage bins. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, let's get a couple more facility buildings in here. Let's go to our blueprints. And let's get something cool. I mean, if we're going to kind of go with the theme of our sorcery pack, let's go with this. Get some buildings and go to blueprints here. Let's see what we have available to us. So we can get, gotta go with these little blue cards here. You can kind of see what they all are. These are all mythology. We want some sorcery. And in fact, we can maybe even have a bathroom in here. Oh, should we get this? That's actually kind of cool. We need some kind of centerpiece in here, I feel like. But we don't need to worry about that quite yet. Let's get our buildings in here. So we have these ones kind of like a double. I'd like to put my bathrooms kind of in here, but let's get this right off of here. We can have a lineup. In fact, let's maybe get 2 of these. Let's get maybe one right off the corner first. Like that. And then this one can go like that. I think that should be plenty. And then we can edit our building and put in our facilities. So let's go ahead. Let's go to custom. Let's put some gift shops in here. We already have lots of food over at that food court. So let's get some gift shops. Hat's fantastic. Gotta have that. Fantastic. I love that. Just a memento. Gotta have that. And now let's go on this building if we can. And then we can get some facilities here. So Splash Emporium. A photo kiosk shop. That'd actually be kind of cool. Let's get one of those and we can get some with a shop shelf balloon display. Oh, that's kind of cool. Looney balloons. We already have that, I think. Just a memento. We got hats. I guess we'll just get like a information system or maybe just a drink place. Might be just fine. Let's get a slush shower. I'm not even gonna, yeah, that was so cringe. Let's get one of those. And now we can open these. We need some power over here as well. Wait a second. Do we have issues? I think we may have issues. Is this thing no power? Okay, we need to get a mechanic over here. Not serviced. Condition will deteriorate while there is no service badge active. So we need to 33,000. Are we? I don't even know if we can afford to do that. That's insane. No path. Oh yeah, okay, we need a path to that, which is fine. Let's get a path to that. Guess we could just come right off of this. Now let's just connect it right there. And then we can service this stuff. Let's just go ahead and get a staff. Let's get a mechanic over here and see if he'll just automatically do this. Connect to path. I thought I did already. Shoot. Okay, I might have to disable these. And then what you can do is you can just connect to path. I guess we'll have to have a special one. I don't know why that is. Let's connect this one to there. Let's see if that kind of works. Still not serviced. Oh, that's a little bit annoying. Okay, I might have to get rid of these. As well as our pots. And this giant fence going across I might have to get rid of. There, that kind of opens it up. So hopefully they can actually... Oh, a little bit too far with that. Can they service this? No mechanic who's framing or assigned to this ride can reach its exit. Yikes. Okay, we might need a backup for this. So let's go to facilities. I don't know why this is acting up. Let's just get a new one of these. Let's go to custom. Let's just get a solar panel. It doesn't need to be fancy like these ones. Let's actually just delete these. Let's delete all of that. And then we can get some new ones in here. Might as well just keep it simple. Let's get one of those. We can put one of these right there. Actually, we can put it right there, in fact. Let's do that. That'll give us power to here. And we have a new one of these. That's going to cost quite a bit of money. Let's get one right there. And we don't need to get one of these yet. Let's get some paths for this. So let's just connect to there. Take that to there. Okay, now we should be able to service this. Expires in 98 minutes. I guess we'll have to just kind of see. But that does give us power. Now all we have to do is to connect these little nodes to the rest of our power distributors. So we got one there. Let's connect one to there. We can connect that to there. And that to there. That does give us lots of power to that. And then we'll need some power for these guys as well, which we don't have a distributor yet. So let's go ahead. Let's see. We still have 101 power. So I mean, we could keep using this and maybe use this one to power the rest of our park. But let's get a distributor right here. Maybe kind of just right here, maybe. Actually, let's maybe hide it right in the trees here. And then if we could stick to surface, yeah, we want to do that. For some reason, it's struggling a little bit. Okay, let's do that, and then we can move that wherever we need it to go. Let's just kind of push it right there. Perfect. And now we can connect our power, I guess just right to here. Okay, there we go. And now our entire park is powered and everybody should be nice and happy. Let's take a look at this. So are they, we probably have quite a bit of staff. Power use 15 out of 15 staff. Occupancy, there's actually nobody in there right now. So I think they should be nice and happy. If they're not, I guess let's find out. So let's go to our staff. Everybody seems content. Nobody is unhappy, which is good. Everybody's got fair pay. Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at the rest of this stuff. So, Tropical Oasis, we have 227 guests. That's climbing a little bit, which is nice. Can't do any advertising yet. Oh, except for this. Okay. Awareness. Okay, we can actually do an advertisement for this now. Let's do, yeah, like 5,800 going towards that. Okay, let's do that. That is perfect. Okay, let's finish the rest of this park. So we have these ready to go. We need to connect some paths. Let's just get, can we get a bigger one? Let's maybe see if we can get 8. Okay, that's perfect. Let's do the same thing with this. Just like so. So now we have paths. That's awesome. Let's open them up. And we need to finish the rest of this, all this stuff. It's a little bit ugly under here, isn't it? Let's maybe see if we can get some stuff. So let's go to custom. Let's go to prop set. Let's maybe just type in sorcery. I don't know if there's like maybe like these stone. What did I press? V? Well, that's just something a little bit lower. Okay, let's go with that. Let's spin this and then I might be able to. I can actually lower the size a tiny bit. Okay, let's put that there. Let's see if we can move this in a little bit. Just like that. I just need to kind of cover it. Both sides like that. And then I might be able to get it a little bit bigger as well. Can I scale this at all? The scale of the object. Okay, there we go. Let's just scale it up a little bit right to there. That's perfect. And now we can get one going across the bottom. So let's just kind of put that there for now. And we can move that in. And now I think we could probably just twist this. Okay, that's perfect. Now let's see if we can move it this way. Okay, now I'm literally just going to take that and duplicate it and move it over. And then I might have to move it out a tiny bit, or maybe even twist it. Let's see. Let's press X. Might be able to get away with just twisting it. Yeah, that's perfect. That's looking really good, actually. Okay, let's grab this again. And now we can duplicate that. Then maybe move this over. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, Okay, and now we can duplicate and move that piece. If we can, oh, this is actually sticking out a little bit now, which I don't hate. I guess I could maybe move that. Yeah, I don't know. There isn't like any smaller strips. Okay, let's actually just leave that. And then these, we can move both of those over here, and I think they should fit in here nicely. And kind of just finish that. Okay, that's not too bad. This is, oh, I guess, yeah, let's grab this. I'll have to grab that, and then let's see if we can move that over. I think that'll look a little bit better if we can do that. Let's pull it this way a tiny bit, just so it's like that. I don't know, I can't really find a size that's good for that. I don't know, that'll have to be good enough. But that kind of finishes that. That looks pretty good. And then we'll probably just take this whole building. Let's delete this one, as well as that. And then I'm going to take all of this, minus that in the tree. And then let's see if we can just duplicate all of this. And then we can spin it a tiny bit and move it this way a little bit. I think that should be good. I'm going to delete this though, because I don't need a second one of those. And then we can take our path and get it going this way. Okay, that should be a lot better. For some reason it didn't fix this, so I guess we'll just have to quickly do this quick. Okay, perfect. Got that done. Let's open these up. And we already have some litter over here. These jerks. Who was it? Was it this guy? Is this guy here? One of these guys? Yeah, it's definitely that guy. I blame you. So let's get some garbage cans in here. Those are already open up. Let's get some trash cans. Some nice sorcery ones. Let's get one of these. I mean, right in the middle would be kind of nice. I guess we could maybe have one over here. Maybe one over there. And then let's kind of put some bins throughout here as well. Maybe one as soon as you come off of there. And then over here we could probably get some. Just like that. And then I'll probably put some benches kind of throughout here. But that should be pretty good. We should have some bins out here. Let's get some, even if we don't. And then obviously our bathrooms will be in here. That should be pretty good. Let's get some benches now. So what do we have for our sorcerer? Our palace thrones. Look at these things. I feel like we have to get some of those. Sci-fi, sorcery. That's what we want. Okay, so those ones we don't want to get anything for. We can get some some benches here. And then anywhere where there's a garbage bin, we shall get one of these. Let's maybe put that right in between those. One there. One there, and maybe one right there. Should be just fine. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I'm gonna get a, what do you call it, a bathroom. Let's go to blueprints. Actually, let's maybe go to scenery and let's get another sorcery looking one. So let's get mythology. We need sorcery. Okay, where is, so we have these ones. That would actually be good for a bathroom. This would be good for a bathroom. Okay, these are actually our shops, which I didn't realize. I guess that kind of works. So I mean, I put all that time into them. Let's get these for staff facilities. Let's get, I guess we could kind of match this maybe. I could get some bathrooms on either side of this. So let's maybe get some in here. Actually, here's what I'll do. Let's take a path through here, set it to maybe 10, and then I could just take a nice straight path going right through there. Get rid of this tree as well as that tree, and now I can get some of these here. So let's get these, and I could just have this right off of here. Then I could just take this right across like that. I think might be just fine. Okay, that looks good. And now we can get some toilets. Let's edit our building. Let's get some facilities. Probably go to custom, hey? Let's go to custom, get some toilets in here. Actually, that's not the same, so we'll have to get this building. There we go. That looks a lot better. So I guess we didn't have it perfect. Let's get some paths for this as well. Just like that. And that looks pretty good if you don't. If you ask me, is what I'm trying to say. That looks pretty good. Let's get some bins throughout here as well. Let's maybe get one right there, maybe one over there, and maybe a couple picnic benches. We haven't put any of those yet, so we're gonna do those now. Before we do that, I do kind of want to get a nice centerpiece in here, if we can. So let's get something cool. Maybe something. I mean, this would be kind of cool. You can still kind of walk around it. Or we could get maybe, yeah, the spider's a little de-appetizing if you ask me. You know what, let's just get a nice light fountain. A nice Planet Coaster fountain might be just fine. Something like this, or maybe even a little bit smaller. I mean, gotta go big or go home. Let's get one of these. Let's make sure it's nice and centered here. Just like that. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We're gonna get some picnic benches throughout here now. So let's go to custom and get some tables. So I'm kind of curious to see. So we got our pirate benches. Oh, that's new. I haven't seen that before. I'm looking for sorcery. Got Vikings. So these are, ooh, those are cool actually. So let's get a couple of these throughout here. So I guess we could maybe have a few of these in throughout here. And then kind of have them kind of like that. Let's maybe even twist this a little bit like that. Kind of just like, maybe just like that. And then throughout here, I'll probably get a couple over here as well. Just for some people to sit. And the reason I'm doing them on angles is because people love to move these. It's a little bit annoying. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. But unfortunately, lots of people who sit here just kind of move them around. Their kids just alter them. I know, it's annoying. Yeah, that should be fine. That's plenty of space. And let's maybe get, maybe, I mean, I don't want to mess with that. I could probably put maybe one or two over here as well. Maybe kind of just like that. And now we're going to need some of these. So if we got our pirate canopies. Whoa, okay, that's cool. I actually really like that. Do we have any sorcery ones? That's the question. Fairy tale. Resort. That's sci-fi. A western. That's kind of cool. Let's just get our pirate ones, I guess. We don't have any sorcery ones, which is interesting. That's kind of a miss for me, honestly. I feel like you could have made some pretty cool ones, but let's get our pirate ones maybe. I feel like these are semi-pirate things anyway, so let's just get these in here. If they will fit. I might have to put them on top. That's usually what I've done in the past, but if I can't put them like that, let's just kind of put them in the top. That's easier anyway. Let's just put them right at the top. Just kind of pitches a little bit higher up, that's all. And for some, yeah, I can't seem to get that. That's a little bit sad. Let's just put them right in the top. And let's just pretend they are welded into there. Because honestly, pirates do crazy things every day, so that should be fine. Okay, we got those. Actually, I didn't really twist any of those. Let's maybe fix some of these. Let's get one in there. Kind of twist them. Wrench them. Jam them. In here. Okay. Kind of twist them. I think that looks a little bit better. And then those, I'll kind of just twist one of those. And then over here. Actually, over here I could maybe get something like this, maybe. If I could fit this in here, maybe. Maybe something like that. I don't know. It's not horrible. Not the worst thing ever. I think it's fine. Should be just fine. Okay, let's maybe get a couple pirate ones over here as well. Yeah, there we go. That should be good. And then I'll also just get rid of one of these and fill that in with the one that looks a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty neat. We got some picnic benches, got a nice big open area, food court, lots of different food variety. I think our food court is done. Maybe I could put, let's put some trees in here. I don't quite want to call it done. Let's adjust our size a little bit lower. I just want to put like a couple of trees in here just to make it a little bit nicer. Get a little bit of shade in here. That looks a little bit better, I think. And we also have some trees in here. I kind of want to keep this open. I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, food court success. Okay, now that we have this in here, I could probably get a couple more roller coasters in here. Let's maybe do... What do I want to do? I guess I could maybe even just have it come right off of there. Let's get some coasters. Or maybe even another flat ride might be kind of cool in here. Are there any really cool flat rides? Resort. Okay, let's actually do this. Let's go content packs. No sorcery thriller rides. That's sad. What about tracked? Let's see if there's any sorcery ones. Maybe. No, nothing. Okay. A little bit sad. I am now sad. Let's get a couple. I know there's some in here, so let's get some of these. And the only one I don't have, I think, is Torque. This one's pretty cool, actually. So let's get this like right next to that one, if I can. It's just right outside of the food court. Actually, you know, it'd be kind of cool. We need like a fair in here. Let's get rid of these trees. They're gonna cause issues. Right off the food court, I feel like it'd be kind of cool to have like a fair going through here. Kind of fair rides. Let's get some flat rides in here. Let's get rid of that. And yeah, we could probably just get like a resort forge. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Yeah, let's just get some of these. So let's make like a little entrance in here for all this stuff. In fact, this could probably go maybe up here, actually. It's kind of a bigger ride. We can have an entrance and exit. And let's get a couple more little flat rides. We have our teacups, classic teacups. We also have our Viking mecha. I feel like this would be cool. You gotta have this as well. Gotta have this. So let's get this maybe even right off of here. We gotta make sure it has enough room, which is the only issue. So let's actually have it maybe kind of right over here. Let's do that. And then we need to figure out our pathing. So let's kind of just roughly put in a path. So let's just go maybe size 8, just so we have enough room for these. I think if we had this kind of going throughout here, and then I could maybe even have this circle around. Let's go back one, actually. Let's have this kind of circle around this, just so people kind of get immersed with rides like this. Let's go back one. Let's maybe come in, and then we can go out, go this way, and connect back to there. I think that might be good. And then we need to figure these out. So let's just go ahead. Let's place an entrance. I guess we already have those. We just need to connect our paths. So obviously we have this path here. I'm just gonna get going to here, curl it right back up, and maybe just get going to there, curl it right back down. And I just kind of need a, like, it's just gonna be a fair ride, and there's gonna be a lot of people kind of coming through here. So let's just do this, and obviously we'll need a path. I guess we could maybe replicate that one if possible. I guess we could just take this as well. So let's just do that. It's just a regular path, I think. So let's just take this, go this way, kind of out in front, and then we can connect it right to there. It's good habit to kind of get your entrance and exits right next to each other, just so as soon as they enter, they come off, they can just kind of do a little loop. So let's get our railing here and paint that in, just like that. I can kind of paint that in. There we go. That ride is pretty much ready to go, so let's go ahead and test these. This guy we can also test. We need to get some paths for this as well. So this is our entrance. So I think what we might do with this is let's come right off of that. And then we can maybe get going up here. And go this way. Oh, that's going to give us some issues on it. Let's go a little bit shorter. Yeah, that's gonna give us some issues actually. Let's maybe start going this way right away. And I can maybe even do something crazy like this. Even that's a little bit close. Let's kind of just do a squiggly line for this. And then connect it right to there. That should be just fine. And then our exit, we will get an exit. Let's make sure our railings are on, just so I don't have to paint them in every time. This we could just get going right to there. Perfect. So that's getting ready to go. I think we could probably open that pretty soon. And let's get a couple more flat rides in here. Let's get like something cool. This is like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. What does this even look like when it is going? Let's test this quick. Is that, oh, okay, that will need lots of room. So we got our flat rides. Where's that one that kind of comes up and splashes down? This one's cool, of a Mythology Upswing. It has its own distributor. So this could probably even go like right there. Yeah, that'll be really cool right there. So we got our little entrances there. I think that should be good. And then yeah, our distributor's down there. I guess we could just connect to that. Let's connect this. And let's maybe get going this way. And then we could kind of use this open area for our lineup, because I think this will be a hot commodity. So let's kind of just get going. Maybe like this. Follow this a little bit. And then we can kind of go all the way over here and connect right to, oh, paths can't cross. Okay, we can do that. That should be just fine. And then our exit, we can get right off of here. Let's make sure our, oh, that's struggling. It's still struggling. Okay, there we go. Let's get our path right to there. That should be just fine. Let's test this bad boy. And this whole little fair area should probably bring in quite a bit of money. I want something to splash our guests right off of here. So let's get one of these guys. I think it's this one. We have our splashdown. I want, is there any cooler ones? Hammer swing. Okay, we could just use this. So let's get this just right off of here maybe. I want people to kind of be able to see as they are walking by. Okay, there we go. Let's get an entrance. Let's just get going like this. All the way to here. Maybe one more even. Does that look decent? I could probably make this a little bit better. And our entrance could be right off of there even. Actually, maybe even right off of here. And then our exit could kind of just come right off of here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take this, go this way. Just like that. Save as much room in here as we can. Okay, let's test this bad boy. We're gonna need power for all of this, so that'll be a little bit tricky. Let's make sure we have, actually our distributor's already over here, so let's just get power for that. And that's all we really need. We could just connect to there, and then we'll need a distributor over here as well. So there we go, we can open that up. Let's set that to bargain pricing, $7, that's actually decent. We're getting quite a bit more guests coming in here. Okay, distributor, let's get another one of these. And I mean, these can even go underground, like they don't have to be. Let's put this underground and make sure it actually covers this whole area. Could even put it maybe right under the path. Get extra coverage. Right there should be just fine. And now we can take this all the way back and let's use that one to power that. Might be perfect. Oh, this is an issue. Let's advance move. Let's go a little bit deeper with that. We got quite the tunneling happening here, so let's just stamp over this. Okay, there we go. That's better. Right over top. Shouldn't have any heating issues underground. It's got fans, it's got external venting, it should be fine. Okay, we can open all of these. Bargain pricing. I want to make sure we don't charge too much, like $36 for our rides. Bargain pricing $29. Those are going to be bringing a pretty penny, I think. So that's exciting. We can get a couple more rides throughout here. Actually, quite a bit more rides. Let's just start throwing in, like I feel like you gotta have teacups. And in fact, this could go right here. Where's our entrance and exit? Let's maybe have it, yeah, like right in the middle here. Just like that. And actually what we could do is let's take a little path going through here. Maybe just like size 6. And okay, let's actually do this instead. Let's take this path and just get going straight across. And then this, I'm actually just gonna demolish that. And then let's get the same thing. Where the heck was that? So our teacups. We have a couple options for teacups, so let's just go with this one. And I gotta put our entrance and exit coming off of there instead. And then we can get another ride right in here, I think. Let's get our entrance. Let's just kind of go straight up like this. And get going up here. I think that should be plenty. Okay, that's good. Let's set that to 4, put our rails on. And I might even, yeah, let's just get going straight out for this one. I'll want to keep this one open a little bit. I don't want to cover that, so let's, yeah, we can just open that, which is nice. Bargain pricing, $36. That is ridiculous. I want to get something like a sky shot in here. So we have, let's go to our custom. This is where we have quite a bit more. So we got like Ferris wheels, board slide, 360 power. What's our most expensive one? 5,000. Get a whirlpool. That's kind of cool. What is something super tall? I want like a polarity. Sunflare. This is what I want. In fact, I might have to move that ride because this just has to go right there. It's just the rules. I'm sorry. It has to go right there. It's just too good to be true otherwise. So let's get rid of all that. And then Sunflare can go right in the middle. Oh, that is so cool. So yeah, let's just put that in the middle. Right there. And we'll have to pick our entrance. So I mean, that could probably go right in here. And then our exit could go maybe right there. So for our entrance, yeah, let's connect with that. Let's just get going straight out this way. And then we can start going this way. And yeah, let's go a little bit further here actually. And then we'll probably want a decent sized lineup. Actually, that might even be fine. Let's go back a little bit. Let's just come this way. Get going all the way over here. And I think we could just call that our line. Like, that's decent. And then this one, we'll just take right off of here. I actually like the way this is fair, or this fair is turning out. So this we can just open. It comes pre-inspected, I guess. Oh, this thing is epic. We needed something like this in our park. That's definitely a centerpiece. Okay, and now we can fill in maybe even a roller coaster over here. Might be kind of cool. This is where we could get this. Yes. Okay, I really like that idea actually. And it could even attach right to there. Insufficient funds. Shoot. Okay, are we profiting? We should be profiting. I'm just gonna speed this up a little bit till we get some funds here. Hopefully, so we can open all those. That's perfect. I guess in the meantime, while that is gathering some money, let's get some more garbage cans throughout here. So I think we could probably have one right here, right there. Actually, maybe one over here. And then throughout here, we could have a couple. Kind of just line all of this with garbage cans. Make sure we have a nice high prestige. Okay, that's good. Keep coming. Get a couple garbage cans throughout there. And maybe even do alternate. I think that should be good. And now let's get some benches. So let's get our sorcery benches. Gotta have your sorcery benches. Let's maybe even just have one on that side instead. Okay, there we go. I love this ride. I'd actually love to ride that if I can. Let's go a little bit closer with that. And continue on our bench journey here. I'm gonna call this our bench journey. Got lots of benches to put down. And let's get one there, one on that side. And then we can kind of just put a few throughout here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh, they're already using that already. Look at these guys. Whole family. Nice. Okay. All of these seem to be open. Oh, let's open that. Gotta open our teacups. Bargain pricing of $8. That is open. Okay, we have lots of people coming over here now, which I love to see. Nice little lineup on each of these rides, which is nice. I think we should be profiting pretty good here. So this roller coaster cost $32,600. I guess I could just take a quick loan. Let's just add a loan quick. We just need like, let's just do like $20,000. Just to get us enough. We don't want to go bankrupt here. Okay, and I still loved where I could attach that. So let's go maybe even like that. I like that. Okay, that's perfect. Let's go ahead. Let's test this out. And let's ride this, actually. Let's maybe wait till they send out their next car. Okay, I think they're about to go, maybe? This is actually such a cool ride. Yeah, that one's just slowing down. Oh no! Ah! Okay, you go around here. Let's hop on here. This is actually so cool because this one has like a little track switch, which is cool. This is a sweet ride, actually. This is a nice one. So here's our little track switch. Actually, no, that's the... let's switch to our other train here. Okay, this is where I think it tilts us up. Let's take a look at this. Whoa, it drops you? That's so cool. And then you continue on and do something that speed you up. Yeah, that speeds you up. That's so cool. So intricate. I don't know if I am talented enough to work with stuff like that, but that is so cool. Okay, let's we need some power to this, and we have some pathing issues. So let's see if we can fix those. We just need to get going to there. Yeah, that's all we really needed to do. I think this is good. Yeah, that should be just fine. Okay, now we need a distributor going to there. So let's just get one, I guess. Power distributor, we have one there. It's not quite close enough. In fact, I could probably even move this. Let's get rid of that stuff, and then let's see if we can move this. Oh man, it won't even actually show. Let's just get another one. That's fine. Let's get one right for this ride. So this could probably just go align with torque station. I don't know what the torque station is. Let's just put this right there. That should be perfect. And then we could just go right off of there. Okay. We now have power. I think it should be tested enough. Let's open this bad boy. $18, that's perfect. And I could probably even get a couple more rides. Or I could maybe get some decoration in here. I can maybe even get another one right on the edge here. Let's go flat rides. You want teacups? Bumper cars or something? Actually, I feel like we can maybe get a Ferris wheel might be kind of cool in here. Right on the edge. Maybe even like, this one has power. No, we don't want to get too crazy. Let's just get like the Skywatcher. This thing's even taller. That's crazy. Or radius. What the heck? That's so cool. Clarity. Let's actually go back to our blueprints one. I want mythology board slide. See, that's pretty cool. And this will require quite a bit of space. Yeah, we could literally just have that right there. Yeah, that's perfect. Fills that space nicely. It's right next to that one, which is also mythology. Okay, let's fill in our paths. So with this, I guess I can maybe even just have our path kind of going straight and then start going this way. Maybe like that. And then get going all the way over here. And then maybe go this way. And then I'd like to connect it right to there. Right next to that bench. That works out perfectly, actually. And then this, I guess, we'll just get that. And we could just do something like that. That should be just fine. Okay, let's test this thing out. I also want to try this out. So let's get going. Yeah, actually in the guest seat. Let's maybe do cinematic. Or do we want to ride this thing? It's pretty simple. I mean, you kind of just go... Oh, it spins too? Okay, we gotta ride this thing. Whoa. So cool. I don't know what seat we're in. Are we in a seat? Interest? Okay, you can kind of see all of our guests riding that, our mannequins. Oh my gosh, okay, that's gonna give me a headache. That's actually so cool. I would ride that. 100% I'd ride that. Okay, let's open that up. Set to bargain, and we got some nice rides here now. We could probably even fit something else in here. I don't know what that something is. Maybe even like a pond or something. I don't know. Some trees, some kind of set piece might also be nice. Let's go to blueprints. Let's get some kind of sorcery thing and stick it in there. Like, I don't know if I want a castle per se. Maybe something we haven't used. Maybe like a little village might be kind of cool, actually. Should we have like a little Hogwarts village? I feel like that might be kind of cool. Let's do that. Let's grab a little path. Let's just set it to like 6. And let's get it starting here. And we can kind of have it go up this way and just end there. Let's just do a random little Hogwarts place here. So let's just get some buildings in through here. I guess let's start over here. Let's have Diagon Alley here. Let's get some of these. Fill this in a little bit. Yeah, let's go for like a Diagon Alley-esque thing. Let's make sure this fits nicely. Just like that. And I guess we could maybe fill this in a little bit more. Is this for like a shop? Oh, you know what? I bet you I could get this like right at the end here. That's for you to enter this in. That is so cool. Okay, let's actually scale this up a little bit. And then I could literally just put this right on the end here. Just like that. That is so cool. Okay, you can enter in through there. I will have to move some of these buildings. So let's just move these just over a little bit. I could still keep it kind of tight like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. These I'll have to move over. Let's just maybe move that over for now. And then I can kind of move these a little bit. Oh, this is so cool. Okay. There's also a way that you can like actually make these look like the Hogwarts buildings. And I feel like I may have to be honest. Yeah, you can kind of edit them. I'm going to figure out how to do that. But let's just place these in here for now. Yeah, let's get one of these. That's a cool building. In fact, this can maybe go right on the end. It'd be kind of like a scary haunted building. Let's maybe put some of these. Or... yeah, just like some of these in here. Actually, this one could probably go over a little bit more. Get a little bit tighter. That's kind of what Diagon Alley was. Just like tight buildings. Let's get this in here. These are so cool, dude. I absolutely love this. Get a little bit more. So I already used that one. I put that one in. Let's maybe have the same one over here. And then maybe something, a little bit of decoration in here. Maybe have that on the corner like that. And then maybe one more building over here. And actually, when you start twisting these buildings, kind of like Diagon Alley buildings, that's when it starts to get a little bit more unique. So let's actually figure that out. I'm going to do a little tutorial or like a look one up and just kind of see if we can figure out a way to do that. I could still maybe get a little thing in here as well. Okay, for some reason I thought that you could warp these and twist them to kind of look like the Hogwarts, like all those buildings, but I don't know, maybe it was a dream I had. Let me know in the comments if you guys know if there's a way to do that. I'd love to know, maybe for the next build. Like, look how cool this would look if they were like kind of twisted and warped. So for now, let's get some trees in here. Let's kind of just fill this in a little bit and make this look nice and tropically. I'd love to kind of make it look daring if I can. Maybe some like nice big rocks or something. I don't know. Let's lower our size. I'll see if we can get some rocks in here. Let's kind of make this look scary. Kind of enclose this a little bit. Kind of like that. And in and behind here, we'll just put a couple of rocks. Just fill this in a little bit. I think that looks a little bit better. Yeah, kind of just fill this in. Let's get a couple more trees. We don't want to cover up the tracks if we can help it. Let's just like get some trees in here. Like that looks a little bit better already. Okay. Diagon Alley is complete. I love it. Let's maybe brush in some better, maybe like some rough rock or something in here. Or just maybe some rough rock, make it look a little bit better. I wish you could just like paint in paths. Might be kind of cool, but yeah, that looks pretty epic. These I'll have to move over, so let's move that there. Okay, Diagon Alley is complete. It'd be nice if there was like some actual shop buildings. Like if these were shop buildings to actually bring people through here, I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah, right now I don't even think anybody will go in there. And in fact, I can maybe get... Could I cheat the system here? Should I just get like... I could literally just tuck a little shop in here. Oh, but this is so cool. No, I don't want to mess with the aesthetic. We're going for aesthetics here over everything else. Okay, this is looking pretty sweet. Let's maybe fill this in with a couple more trees. Maybe just like this. And then obviously these things, we could put a couple of trees in here. And I kind of want to leave this open. Let's just do maybe even like a nice little pond in here. There he goes again, building a pond. I'll make fun of myself sometimes here. Okay, that should be pretty good. Let's raise this up a tiny bit. We got some nice music on this ride, actually. That's kind of nice. Okay, let's push that down a tiny touch. Throw some water in there and then see what it looks like. So let's just kind of go even a little bit higher. Yeah, let's kind of just do that. And let's get some nice big rocks in here maybe. Kind of like that. Maybe even some trees. Just like that. Let's actually align them to surface. So they don't look ridiculous. Maybe a tree like that. Okay, that looks really nice actually. Over here, I could probably just put a couple of trees. Some trees over here. Let's turn off avoid paths. Just so we can kind of put trees wherever we please. And actually, we need some kind of thing that signifies like, this is the carnival. I mean, you can kind of just see. But if there's like some sort of cool sign maybe. Like what could we get? I'm kind of thinking of like, just a planet coaster, little sign, I don't know, something small. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like this heyo, that's really all we need. Heyo, maybe without the path going through. Maybe something like that. Oh yes. That is exactly what we need. Actually, maybe let's get the king. Let's get the king and let's put it right on the edge. Right there. That is absolutely perfect. Okay, that is exactly what we need. And I could probably even put something over here. Maybe just like a little fountain. Or something. Actually, we might even need maybe something like this actually. I don't know. Just to kind of draw people into this area. Let's get one of those. Maybe put one over here as well. Something like that. And I guess we can maybe have one of these. Actually, let's have the splash one. It's a little bit cooler. Just put that right there. Okay, that's looking a lot better. This is nicely decorated. I am semi-happy with it. Let's maybe put a couple more trees. Actually, it's kind of nice to keep this open. What do we think? I could probably put some trees over here. Just to kind of close that off a tiny bit. Put a few trees in through here. That looks a little bit better. Let's get into the smaller details though. Let's get into the details. Put some of these down. This is the stuff that's going to make all this look a lot better. I think. Kind of just like that. Fill that in a little bit. a couple of plants in here maybe. Get rid of that. Yeah, this is looking quite a bit better. Whoa. That went a little bit crazy. Let's add a couple of these. Okay, there we go. I am slowly becoming happy with all this. Kind of just fill all of this in. Get some bigger trees in here. Yeah, this is looking quite nice. We get a couple trees behind it. Okay, that looks sweet. This area is done. We don't have any power going to this, which is kind of an issue. What could that be? I feel like that maybe has to do with this. Is this out of power? Yeah, it's almost out of power. Let's call a mechanic really quick. It is almost out of power, and then we also need a mechanic for that. So let's get them running over there. And for whatever reason, this looks ridiculous. Let's quickly just get rid of this stuff before the mechanic gets here. Let's take a path right to there. And then that will do. Okay, that is deteriorating by the second, and our entire park is about to shut down if we don't get our mechanics over there. Okay, here comes one. He's gonna take a look at that. Are we already done? What's happening here? Let's maybe refurbish these. That's gonna cost $23,000 to refurbish that. Okay, let's see. It only gives 14 more available power. Power distributor 156. Its condition is good. Power available 14. Okay, I think that's just all that's left. So we've kind of powered all this. We might even need another one of these. So let's get another solar panel. And in fact, I don't think we can afford one. These are a little bit cheaper. I guess we could get these in the meantime. Let's get a couple of them. Couple of solar panels there. Just in case we need the extra juice. Okay, that's good. Let's set that to like 8, and then we can get right off of that. Yeah, that's perfect. Now we have a little bit extra power if we need it. Lots and lots of guests. We have 1,200 guests. Oh my gosh. Look at all the people coming. I want to check this out. Let's actually go into our first person camera. Like, look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Let's make sure we're just walking. This is looking sweet. Solitude Bay. We got lots of different themes going on with this build. Oh, there's our Chief Beef guy. What's up, bro? We got our pizza pen. Oh, this is looking absolutely sweet. This might be one of my favorite park builds. I mean, without throwing mountains absolutely everywhere. This is looking pretty sweet. We are not done yet. Let's finish the rest of this bad boy. Like, this is looking so sweet. We need to do a little bit more over here. I feel like we're just missing some stuff over here. So we could probably take our path, maybe even kind of start wrapping it around, and then reconnect it back to here. It's kind of annoying to have just a straight line for the theme park. So I might have to see if we can do something with that, but this is looking pretty good. Okay, we are making some pretty good profit now. I got this sped up a little bit. We should be making quite a bit. I think today we profited about $86,000, it just said. That is looking pretty good. So we got our bathrooms, a little food court in here. What else do we need to get? Maybe even, let's check out our staff. Let's see if they're nice and happy. Yeah, these guys are pretty happy. Everyone's pretty happy for the most part. Nobody's really overworked, I would say. Break in progress. Okay, they're doing pretty good. I might even get another janitor just to kind of help out with this general area, but that should be fine. This is absolutely epic. Nobody's really coming to this one. This one is quite popular. That is a popular roller coaster, to say the least. Let's continue on our path here. And our path of destruction here. Not our destruction. Let's go maybe... We can maybe finish off with like a loop around here. What do we want to do? I mean, what's our ultimate goal? Do we want to get it coming back around to here? I feel like that would be kind of ideal. I could get some roller coasters in and behind here maybe. What do we want to do? I don't know. I mean, I do have this path, and I could probably get going right off of here. In fact, let's maybe try that. Let's go. Is that a 9? Is that a 10? Let's try 9. And let's just go right off of here. And, I mean, right behind here, essentially, if we can. Maybe just like right behind here. And then we can kind of have a little loop. Just like that. I think that should be fine. That kind of just gives us an alternate path. And then I could put some more rides back here. It might be a little better. And then I could continue on through here. So what do we want to get? Like, we've already used the sorcery ones. Let's just turn that off now. And now let's just get whatever the heck we want. So we have some price constraints. We only have 44,000. That is climbing pretty quickly at least. So that's kind of nice. And in fact, let's see if we can do some advertising. Flat rides, we only have 74% awareness. So let's do a little bit of advertising. Time until 100%. That's only 27 minutes. That's not bad. But we don't need to go crazy. Let's just do 7,500 for that. We already have 100% awareness for that. Water slide enthusiasts. Okay, we could do a little bit of a water park around here. Maybe in this whole area? Okay, now we're talking. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's get some water slide stuff. So let's go blueprints. Guest services stuff. So yeah, services. And then if we could have some like ticket stuff, let's get a guest services here. I guess we'll have to get toilets. Yeah, just a classic guest services building. We'll put this here. Right off of, or maybe a little bit more central. What do we think? I could probably even put it right under here. Let's have a guest services there. People can kind of buy their stuff, do whatever they need to do for this. And then I'm also going to get, we already have our bathrooms right there, so that's perfect. Let's get some change rooms. And I guess what we could do is even have like something crazy like this. And then it'll also give us some bathrooms. Let's actually just kind of angle it that way. And then let's see. Let's just get the biggest path we can possibly get. Let's just go right off of here. Actually, let's maybe limit this. Do 3 here. Let's do 10. Let's go ahead and do that. And then this one we could also just kind of go like that. Okay, that actually looks really good. That worked out perfectly. So we got bathrooms, some change rooms there. We'd also probably want to get some heaters. So what does that look like? We got our heater here. We could get a couple of these. Maybe one there. One over here. And then we can just take our path and connect that. Just like that. And then I'd love to use my little rounding tool here. Yeah, there we go. That looks a lot better. Round those off. Oh yeah, that's looking slick. Okay, this is perfect. We got guest services here. And in fact, I could probably... Is that random? I feel like that's kind of random. I could also get another little building in here. Maybe for... I mean, what do we want to get? A splash and pour. Okay, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. So we can put this right on the corner. Let's see what it looks like first of all. Okay, if we put this right on the corner, I think it'll look really good there. So let's go ahead and get that. Let's put it right on the corner. Just like that. How does that kind of look? So I might have to fix some of this pathing, but I actually think that should be pretty good. Let's stamp this in. We can stamp all of this in, change the pathing. I mean, we got a little railing going across here, which is nice. Yeah, I think that should be good. And then we'll fix a couple of these, like this one. Fix that, maybe round that off a little bit. Oh, this one's also a big no-no. Okay, there we go, nicely rounded off. These are kind of at a random spot now, so let's just move that. Okay, just like that. Cool rules, splashing, peeing, no running. That's actually funny. Okay, we got some security there. Let's open these up. So we actually have a dryer, a Splash Emporium shop, and a bathroom, so that's perfect. Okay, this can be our water park. So let's just make a nice size water park. Let's actually take this a little bit further out. Let's go a little bit further with this and maybe kind of angle it this way to get a couple more roller coasters that way. But I think what I want to do, how do I want this to look? I could probably take, and in fact, I'll probably have to draw this in. Let's draw it. Merge, line style, curve, straight. Yeah, let's just draw this in. Let's do a nice water park. Maybe like this blue, or maybe this wood cobblestone would hurt the heck out of your feet. Let's just do these horizontal ones. Let's draw this in. Kind of like this. Nice and wide. And we can make it kind of all the way through here. Maybe go a little bit skinnier here, widen out like this. Just have a nice design. Insufficient length to finish. Okay, so I probably want to start coming back. See, this is the problem. You can't just go back. I might have to do this in a couple of little segments. So let's just kind of go out like this. And now we can start coming back. Just like that. Oh, that looks so weird. Okay, I'm actually going to use this one and draw that in. I'm just going to keep it simple. Nice and wide. And this should be the last time. There we go. That looks a lot better. In fact, I'd probably even leave it like this. What could I put on the edge here? Let's get like a Subway or something. Actually reminds me, I'm so hungry right now. Subway sounds incredible. Subway or Dunkin' Donuts, maybe McDonald's. What do I want to get? Let's maybe get a Dunkin' Donuts. Something a little bit lighter. People who don't want to look too bloaty when they got their bathing suits on. Let's maybe get this. Dunkin' Donuts. Let's face this. Just like that. Put it right on the edge there. Just like that. How does that look? That looks pretty good, actually. I don't mind that at all. I might have to fix some of this. Let's grab this, maybe stamp in some of this stuff. Stamp that in, and then maybe see if we can... Would this help kind of round that off? Maybe. See if we can fix this. There, that makes it a little bit straighter. And then if I can grab this and pull all of this out a tiny bit, might make it a little bit better. Okay, that's not horrible. I mean, it doesn't look great, but sometimes there's not much you can do. The game just decides it's gonna do some crazy things. So I'm gonna round that off, just so it looks purposeful. Might even be able to round that off, kind of smooth it out a little bit. Yeah, we got our Dunkin' Donuts. Let's start getting some sick roller coasters in here. So we got some power issues. Oh gosh. Okay, where is this? I might have to refurbish this again. We just have so much power going to this. That's the only issue. So let's actually let's see if we can split up this power. Let's use 2. Let's use this one, and then we can actually connect it to there. And then we can kind of use all of these to help each other out. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know, just do a crazy little network of stuff. The 42, we still got lots of power. That's nice and healthy. That should give us some good power now. We need a distributor over here, which let's not worry about that quite yet. Let's get some flumes. So we got some sweet looking ones. We got this one, 4 super water slides. So let's definitely get this to start. And I guess we'll need a pool, won't we? Let's go a little bit bigger around here. Probably round that off. Let's go a little bit bigger and draw in a nice sized area. Maybe, yeah, like nice and big. Maybe kind of round it off like that. We're running out of real estate here. Oh no. Okay, there we go. We can finish that off. Put a couple of pools in here. Might even be able to round that off. And let's check this out. So let's go to our pools. I guess we can maybe even just draw one in. Let's get one there. I guess we'll want an empty one for this. So let's just maybe put these right on the edge. And then we can actually make these a little bit bigger maybe. Can't really do scale. Okay, that's fine. Let's just do a custom pool. So this, we will do some circles, or I might be able to line builder. That's interesting. I'd probably rather draw it in. So we got a pool there. That'll be pretty good. And in fact, let's maybe actually get rid of that. Let's maybe do some custom ones instead. Let's do a custom pool. Let's have one. Maybe actually let's go like this. And then we can start drawing this in. Maybe a nice size pool. Kind of like this. And then we can just connect it like that. I think that should be good. We can put quite a few water slides around that. Let's maybe start with that. So we have this one that we wanted to get. Let's go ahead and get that ready to go. So let's maybe put it, yeah, kind of wrap around that tree. That's actually kind of cool. Let's put that right there. And now we need to make sure we have enough space for people to walk around here. I might have to kind of take my path and go under it a little bit or something that I can zigzag through there, but that should be good for now. Is that too high? I wonder if that's too high. Let's actually see if we can lower it just a tiny bit. It might be just a little bit too high up. Let's lower this just a tiny bit. That's a little bit better. That one's going to be pretty high up anyway, so let's just do that. And that should be perfect. And maybe let's move it over this way a tiny bit. Kind of just like that. Let's lock that in. That should be ready to go. And then we'll need a entrance. Oh, shoot. I guess we kind of screwed that up. Okay, we have our entrance here. I guess we could just like come out. Where do we want them to enter? I guess we could have them enter this way. We need a way for them to get around here is the only issue. Might have to get like a path. The only way they can do it is like kind of come through here, but we'll have to figure that out. Let's take this and let's just draw in a little path kind of going around here. Just like to maybe just there, and then it kind of tapers like that. How does that look? Not too bad. This kind of screwed up at the end there. Let's just take this line drawing tool. And we can kind of fix this a little bit like that. And see if we can fix this. There, that's a little bit better. Okay, I think people should be able to walk around there. If they can't, might have to figure something else out, but let's get these ready to go. This is our first one that you kind of drop through. We gotta test them all, make sure everybody survive. Okay, we got lots of survives there. Let's set our pricing to bargain. Open all of these up, bargain pricing. And since we're in the tropical climate, we should have some nice hot summer days for these people. Imagine carrying $29, I think this one was $55, $58 to ride that once. I mean, I'm not complaining, but somebody is. Okay, that's good. Get some more flumes. We got some good money coming in now. Ooh, I want this Kraken one. I want that Kraken one. How much does that cost? 62,000? What's a little loan here and there? So I don't think we... Debt remaining 7,000. I guess we're going to end up increasing this anyway. Let's just get like $100,000. We're making some pretty good money, so we are fine. I really want this Kraken one. So let's just have this literally just like this, and then we'll have to be a little bit strategic with this. A little bit careful. I have dealt with this one before. It is not for the faint of heart, but I think that should be nice. Let's lock that in. How does that look? So we got our path kind of coming in through here, which should be fine. That's kind of in the ground, I guess. Might actually have to redo that. Might be a little bit low, so let's try and redo this. Let's put that in like this. And let's lower it just so this looks pretty good. Oh, is this our entrance? That's kind of a problem. Okay, I might actually have to change the way this... So our entrance is here. I guess what we could do is just do this. I still want people to be able to see this thing. Let's just put this like right there. And now we can just lower this to the ground. And that should be good. Now let's take it this way a tiny bit, just so we can connect a path there. I think that should be great. And then everything else is a nice height. Let's lock that in, see how that looks. We can take this, draw this in quick, just a size 4, I believe. Oh, got some issues here. Too steep. Okay, can we can do that though. Let's just kind of do that. I don't know. Let's pretend that didn't happen. That's too steep for some reason. It's kind of just glitched out. That should be fine. We got some steam coming up here. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's run this thing. I don't know if we don't really need power to these, do we? We will, however, need some water. Make the water better. I don't know what do you even call that. Let's get these set up. Bargain pricing, $25. A cool $25 that you're just casually carrying in your swim trunks. Just to ride it once. That's insane. These are the richest people in the world. They have their butlers that come with them. $48 to ride it once. That's absolutely crazy. Okay, so this thing is ready to go. Let's maybe get a nice mountain behind here. Oh, look at this. We already got a ton of people in our pools. So let's actually see. So we do some advertisings for our water coaster lovers. Let's just max this thing out. Let's get as much awareness as possible. And then we'll get some more water slides in here. I think that should look pretty good. We didn't actually open our little info center here, so let's open that up so people can actually buy park passes or pool passes. So they gotta buy their pool passes, not have anywhere to put their money. Oh, we got a little floater here. It's actually kind of cool. Like, look at the graphics. That's so cool. Okay, this is looking epic. Let's go ahead. I want to raise this up a little bit. Let's increase our size and our intensity. And I want a nice big mountain right behind this. Kind of just like that. Kind of make this somewhat enclosed. We can kind of adjust it as we're going. Let's just kind of build this up. Nice big mountain. Just like that. Now let's decrease our size. And this is where we can kind of get some texture and quality in here. Let's maybe raise this up a tiny bit more. Maybe do like a little cave in here, might be kind of cool. Oh, we don't want to cover that though. Actually lower that a tiny bit. Got some steam coming up through there, so that should be good. Let's maybe raise that up now. Kind of just like that. And then in here, I could probably have some more little kind of cliff faces. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I should probably enclose all of this as well, just so it looks a little bit more official. Kind of just enclose this. Nice big mountain. Okay, there we go. I think that should actually be decent. Just kind of do a hill and let's paint this in. Let's paint it in with some nice rough rock. In all of this general area. Let's increase the size and intensity. There we go. That looks a lot better already. Kind of paint that in. Okay, that's looking pretty sweet. Obviously, we're gonna need let's get a distributor over here. And this could just go right at the back. Right there. Oh, pass can't cross. What about right there? Okay, there we go. And then we just need a little node here. Let's connect that. Maybe you can just write directly to one of these. And I'm wondering if I should get some actual generators. I don't know how good those solar panels will do over time. But we got Dunkin' Donuts here. Let's head on in. We got a couple of shops we can open here. Some sushi, gelato bros. I mean, it's Dunkin' Bros, but we gotta have some shops that people can buy some. Look at these. Oh my gosh, these benches are gorgeous. What the heck? This is the nicest. Oh, what did you do? Vandalize? You can just replace for $5. Let's call a janitor. We're paying a janitor to do that stuff for a reason. Here they come. They gonna go fix that? Oh, those meddling kids. Let's sweep it up. Whip it up into a nice sparkly garbage can. There we go, that's better. This is a vibe. I absolutely love this. Let's get a couple more flumes here. So we have this hotel resort that we could get. It's a little bit excessive. Kind of huge. Let's maybe get something else. Riptide Racers, that would be sweet. That could maybe even go just like right along here, honestly. We could kind of angle this in like this. And then have it kind of just right off of here. Let's try that. How does that look? It doesn't look super weird, but it doesn't look the best either. Let's paint this in. Let's get our paintbrush tool and paint some of this in. And keep the pathing nice and consistent. I think that looks better. And then let's see if we can round this off a little bit. Kind of just grab that. Get going all the way to there. Round it back just like that. Now, oh my gosh. Okay, let's fix this. Just like that. And let's see if we can maybe bring it out a little bit. That's not horrible. And then we might be able to round that off a tiny bit. Round that off. Okay, that's not bad. We got a Riptide Racers coming in. That's actually sweet. So let's open these up. Gotta test them out. Let's test those. This is so cool. Okay, so those should be ready to go now. Let's set bargain pricing for all this. I don't know why some of these cost more than others, but whatever, I guess. One might be fast. See, there is a faster one. You've always wondered, oh, which is the fastest one? Well, I think, judging by price, this one, $20. Go on this side. Actually, which one is this? Comes right up. Yeah, it's this one. This is the fastest one. Even though I'd probably choose this one. Yeah, there you have it. It's official. We're gonna need some garbages in here. Probably some nice benches for people to lay on. Let's get some other flumes in here. What do we want to get? One of these indoor water parks. This is cool. The Trials of the Wicker Man. If you guys haven't seen this thing, like, look at this. I've had it before. It's very expensive, but I'd say it's probably worth it. It's quite cool. Let's get maybe like this. If it was facing the other way, I could definitely get this thing. I mean, I could get it, and let's take up a lot of space. This thing's kind of tiny. I need something for smaller kids to ride. Like, these are all pretty big, but this one's actually pretty cool. Let's just put this one, actually maybe even like actually on this platform, then they can kind of walk around it. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, it actually goes into their own little thing anyway. Okay, let's actually erase that. That could just go like off to the side maybe. Actually, it's basically the same thing as that. Let's just put this just like right there, and then they can kind of just get off right there. That might be fine. And then we'll need an entrance to this, obviously. So let's, oh, we can actually change where that goes. Let's do an entrance, and this could kind of just go straight out this way, right to there. I guess should be fine. Lots of different water slides that we need to open up here. So let's test these out. I think it should be semi-safe. Yeah, it looks good to me. Let's open these up. See, these are quite a bit cheaper. So if people want to, these are for the cheaper people that come to our park. Yeah, there we go. Premium bargain pricing. So there we go. We got some water slides. I don't love that it's kind of out like that, do I? Let's actually get rid of that. This is actually pretty cool. This one actually lands. Let's get this thing. This is super colorful. And it actually lands right into our pool. So let's get that. Let's set that up maybe right like right on the corner. I don't know. I guess we can maybe even do, it looks like they can get underneath it. So let's just put that right there. Yeah, they can still, or maybe they can't. Nope, they definitely can't. Let's put it over here instead, so they can actually walk around it. Okay, let's go with that. That looks pretty good. Let's test this out. And if all goes according to plan, yeah, there you go. Oh, people bring their tubes. That's actually so cool. That should be nice and safe for them. $38. Pretty cheap prices. And people should be able to just go on it now, I think. Yeah, it's open. Looks like they can just kind of walk right on. Let's see if they will. Yeah, that's actually cool. And then I think for scenery, let's get something for, yeah, kind of got custom. Oh, pools. That's what pool extras. Let's maybe start laying down some of these. So obviously we need some lifeguard chairs. So let's get one there, one over here, or maybe even right in between there. Get some lifeguard chairs. We also need a way for people to get out of the pool. Let's maybe have one there, and kind of spread these out wherever. I don't want that too close to there because then somebody will break a tooth on something. So let's get a few of those kind of everywhere. And then let's put some of these in here. Kind of some diving boards everywhere. Do one over here. Gotta make this as fun as you can. And maybe right there. That should be fine. And having a wave pool would also be cool. So let's get a big old wave pool. Maybe... I mean, obviously it needs to be safe. Yeah, I mean, 185,000 today. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, let's put that right there. That's kind of sweet. Okay, nice hot summer day. How is the rest for park looking? I think everything is nice and happy. I have so many guests, 2,700 guests. We're doing quite good here. Okay, so we have some power issues now. Literally just as that said that. So let's just do a schedule here, actually. Oh, this is intimidating. Okay, I'm just gonna do it based on when they need it. So let's refurbish these. We can refurbish all of this stuff. $29,000, that's fine. We could just call a mechanic for that. Okay, they're gonna fix all that. That's perfect. Got lots of sun coming to them. Okay, now we got lots of power going to our park. That's perfect. Let's actually check out our money situation here. So let's go to our loans. Can we pay some of these off? Park cash, that'll actually take quite a bit. Let's just pay off like 24,000 of it. And I think our other loan is already taken care of. So there we go, debt remaining 94,000. We'll kind of chew away at that eventually. And that'll be awesome. Let's get another flume in here. Actually, tools, let's go to extras. We need to get some of these guys. So let's just throw some of these in here. Pink is fine. Let's get some nice pink ones. Hopefully people don't vandalize these. Let's give them some of these. And I don't know if people can go around here. Can they walk around that? Yeah, they're all kind of just walking in circles. They don't really know where they are or who they are. Let's do that. This one I might move over a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. Let's duplicate that. Over here I could probably get a couple. Maybe over here. Just like that. Lots of nice places to relax. Maybe one more on the end. Gotta have lots of room. Have you ever been to Silverwood? Like I already talked about Silverwood. You have to take, if you want to go to the water park, you gotta take your bench. Or like, you gotta pick these things up and put them out yourself, which is fair. I mean, I can't expect staff to put out 1,000 of these things. But you have to like basically do a mad rush if you want to get like, there's only one spot in the entire park that has shade, okay? It is on the, what do I want to say, the south side of the pools. Kind of as soon as you're entering there. You gotta go quick. Like it's crazy. It's the only place with shade. There might be a little bit more shade now, but it is raining here, so you don't really have to worry about the shade. There we go. Let's get some garbage cans throughout here. Then we can kind of, let's maybe do some like just classic ones. We have transported into not the sorcery place, so let's kind of just put some garbage cans throughout here. Maybe one over here. Just a few throughout here. Okay, I still don't know if people can actually get through here, which is a little bit worrying. They kind of have to go all the way around here. So I don't know if I want to maybe extend this maybe a little bit more, get some more pathing, or I don't know what I want to do. I could maybe do something like that. Just to kind of take a path around it, just so they can get around. I don't know, for some reason they're just not doing anything. Let's just take a little path. And I don't know if they can get under here. I don't know. Let's just leave it. they can kind of go through the pool, come out this side, and go through it like that. So that's pretty good. And I also want to get another flume in here, so I might have to move these stuff anyway. Okay, let's kind of wrap up our water park here with, yeah, I kind of like what I get. Let's get a couple, or maybe one just flume in here. Something like, maybe even like this. We already have lots of Riptide racers like that. Maybe like Octo racers. But that also kind of does its own thing. I could maybe even face this over here where that one was. I feel like that might be a little bit better. Let's just put it maybe kind of like right tucked in here might be kind of good. Let's put it right there. I like that. That looks pretty good. And then I can open all of these up. Octo racers. Like, I mean, just love the sound of that anyway. Let's open all of these up and then we can go ahead and test them really quick. Throw some money on there. Bargain pricing, 12 bucks. That's not too bad. Let's open all these. And let's do bargain pricing. Hopefully lots of people come to our water park. I mean, we do have quite a few and it's raining right now. So actually, let's maybe put some more body dryers. Maybe another body dryer over here might be kind of nice. So let's get, where would that be? I think under miscellaneous, some body dryers. Let's just put that right. That's kind of in that pole. So let's just go right on the other side of that. Body dryer there. People should probably go in there. And should we charge for it? I mean, Disney World does, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's get a couple of those. No need for people to dry. Oh my gosh, we got so much garbage over here. Okay, let's maybe hire another janitor in this area. Then they can kind of clean up all of this garbage. They can whip it up. Okay, that's good. Let's get maybe just 2 more flumes in here. Like I said, let's just get rid of these. And gotta keep that. Come on, keep that. Yeah, let's just delete those. And then I think these will also delete. We can always throw them down somewhere else. Let's keep those garbage cans there. You know what? I don't know. I might want to just kind of keep this open. Let's just keep that open. I like that a little better anyway. It's kind of just nice and open. Yeah, I think, yeah, let's maybe do that. What else could we do here? We have this one that we could get. This one's pretty insane. Oh, we need some water treatment. So let's maybe go ahead and do that. Well, let's get this set up. Maybe like right in between there. I think that's perfect. This is kind of in a weird spot now, so let's get rid of that. And these are in a decent spot. Okay, let's test this out. And they kind of come on like a big tool, or not a big tool, a big tube. So that's kind of sweet. Okay, we need some water treatment for all of this. This is all getting pretty gnarly in here. So let's get some facilities. Go to all of this stuff. We're gonna need a water pump. So that could probably go. I mean, this is a nice opening over here. Yeah, that's actually perfect. Let's get a water pump right here. I can literally just put that right next to there. And then I'll just get one of these. So we kind of need to cover that. In fact, this could probably even go right up here. Let's get a water pump right up there. We got that covered, and then we're gonna need another one down here. How are we doing for water efficiency here? So we got 120 still. Let's get another filter. So we gotta cover both of these. I mean, I guess we could maybe put this up here. And then we should be able to get our pool as well. Okay, there we go. We got our pool out of that. And then I'll get one more filter. If we can. Yeah, 120 still. I think that should be able to cover all of this. And then we also have to get all of this just so far away. Okay, let's get this back here. That should kind of cover all of that. And then let's get one more over for both of these maybe. Kind of just right in the trees there. And that should be perfect. Okay. Water coverage is great. This is already a lot cleaner looking. Let's take a look at this. Like, this is looking pretty sweet. Got a nice big pool area in here. Looking epic. People with the balloons. Okay, we have 2,600 guests. That's easily the most amount of guests I've ever had. And we could probably pay off some of these loans, couldn't we? That'll leave us with 10 grand. Let's just pay that off. We don't need any more debt loitering over us. Okay, I like that. Pretty sweet water park that kind of fills in this giant area. And then this is kind of just open. In fact, it'd be kind of cool. We also have these that we could get. And obviously we don't have enough money for it. $69,000. This thing is absolutely insane. So we could get this thing. And that would actually kind of fit maybe in here. Pretty excessive. So let's maybe wait until we get some money gathered. Shouldn't take too long. Let's see how we're doing here. We should be profiting pretty good, which is awesome. And as far as our advertising, we already have 100% awareness for all of our things. So I think that's perfect. Okay, we've already gathered quite a bit of money here. So we could maybe get something else. We need about 69,000. I guess we could maybe just take a loan quick here again. Even though we just got rid of one. Maybe like $150,000 loan this time. We're going to pay a lot of interest. Only 30, yeah, about 30,000, 40%. That's, oh, okay, 20 actually. That's actually quite a bit for a $150,000 loan. But you know what? Why not? Let's just do it. So this could even kind of just signify the end of our park. Like, this looks pretty fleshed out. People wouldn't want to walk that much farther anyway. We got a nice big water park in here. I feel like it's looking pretty good. In fact, we can maybe, if there's a flume that really jumps out on us, maybe even like a wave pool might be kind of sweet. Should we get a wave pool? I feel like we should. I could get this right here. Let's maybe get rid of these trees because they are definitely in the way. And let's get a big wave pool. We also have this thing. Drop slides, yeah, that's kind of messed up. Actually, what's this thing all about? Let's just place this for a second. I want to see. Oh my gosh. That's pretty crazy. That's very sci-fi. But I feel like we have lots of roller coaster slides just like it. We could also do just a little pool area over here. I actually kind of like this as well. I'm going to do this. This kind of offers the best of both worlds. I can kind of just throw that in there. And then we can connect it to there. We're going to need some power for this, obviously. This is actually perfect. So we can open this. Ride is untested. And now we can open that. This one I'm going to make free. I don't need to be super mean to kids. But this is kind of just a nice little pool area. Okay, let's get this set up. Let's slow this down just for a second. This is some heavy rain coming down, actually. So we actually, okay, we're actually good for coverage with this, but I guess we could still just connect this. We might as well. Let's go ahead and connect that. Make sure we're doing a little bit more filtering. And then we need some power to this as well. So let's connect. I guess this is our generator. Oh, perfect. It actually has its own... Wait, what? Yeah, let's just connect this to here, I guess. And that should give us power. Okay, there we go. And now we can open all of these up. So we got a dryer, which is perfect. We have a something or the other. I actually don't even know what that is. We got a splash emporium here. We can open that up. And we can open the rest of the stuff. Kind of just like little changing areas. And then some of these. This is where water parks meet resort. So this will be a nice place for all of those kind of people. And then we need to figure out how to fix all of this. I mean, like, this is, yeah, we definitely have to fix this. So let's go, let's just bring this all the way to here. Then we can connect that, and that's all that's left is just connecting that. And if we just change all of this, no, let's go back one. Let's use this one instead. Okay, that looks a little bit cleaner. Yeah, I like that. A little bit over here. Okay, that's definitely better. Let's just fix that. Guess we just want that little piece. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what we're going for. This, honestly, we could probably even just delete this part. Let's delete that, and then let's see if we can clean this up. We kind of just need to maybe just round this off or something. I don't know. Let's just round that off. That's fine. Still a heavy rain coming down, but look at that pool. That is gorgeous. That is very cool. What the raining so hard right now. This is crazy. We have lots and lots of guests, tons of money now. We're a little bit of power issues over here. So let's actually do a little bit of a fix here. Let's refurbish that. Get all this stuff refurbished. Okay, there, that should really help. And then let's maybe get one more big roller coaster in here. So what do we want to get? Something expensive. Definitely want something expensive. We could get Temple Dash. What's something we haven't got before? Let's actually check the Frontier Workshop. I'm actually very curious if there's something new that is super cool. So most subscribed. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like I picture a Yeti living there. We also have all this needs updates. So let's actually go to, what do we want to go to? Let's go to browse, filter by, I guess just rides. Oh, we have horror kickflip. What? That's actually kind of cool. This is a pretty big ride. Okay, we want to filter by rating. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Nice bridge there. And then we also want some rides. So let's go coasters, I think might be what we are looking for. So this one's pretty cool. Air Force. I don't know how big it is. Let's just go ahead and subscribe to it. We can check that out. Monster Energy, that's cool. It's literally just like, yeah, let's go ahead and get that. That's actually, it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Let's go ahead and get that. Mountain Racer. Like, all of these are so cool. You guys are so talented, honestly. I could never do this stuff. This thing's pretty crazy. Alton Towers. So let's check this thing out. That's pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. Let's subscribe. Let's get it. The Goonies. Oh my gosh. I need to check that out. I'm just kind of getting stuff for future videos as well. Like, all this stuff is insane. And maybe let's get this one too. Okay. Let's check out all that stuff. So let's see all the new stuff we just got. So this is Monster Energy. Oh, it's not just like, whoa. That's pretty insane. So there's like a little half ramp. What do you call that? That's crazy. Okay. So that's definitely an option, and it doesn't even take up that much space. I'm gonna get this just because it's the coolest thing ever. Let's lower this a little bit. And honestly, I think that is pretty ideal. Let's get that thing. Like, look at this. That's so cool. Look at the detail. This is so crazy. There's a UFC Octagon in here, Monster Energy drinks. Hopefully I don't get copywritten for this, but we got like a skateboarding park in here. And a little dude about to ride that. That's pretty sweet. And what do you, a half pipe, that's what I'm thinking of. And this thing. I just want to see this in motion here. Let's test this thing out. In fact, let's ride this. I want to ride this thing. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Okay, it's very Hulk. This is insane. This is pure adrenaline. That is high up. Wow. Okay, that's basically the entire thing, but I'd say that's probably worth it. That's worth the price of admission. You ride it twice? Nope. Looks like it's done. I want to see this thing come out of here. Already done. I want to see it come out of here. Let's see. Watch it kind of shoot up. Can block 1967 to 2023. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Go all the way to the top. Okay, that is cool. I want this thing. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm happy with that. Let's just get some power going to it. So we have a lot of things to power and we need to open all of these. So let's just grab this. And I think that's probably a 12. Let's just connect it to there. That's all we need to do. And yeah, the entrance, it's all kind of right here. So that's perfect. Let's just get a distributor for all this stuff. And that could probably even go maybe on the roof. Let's just put this on the roof. Why not? Let's throw it on the roof. And then we can get our power and just connect it to there. There we go. We're nice and powered now. Okay, what all needs power? So we have a few things. We have a little vendor here, so we can go ahead and open that. A little vendor there that we can open. And I think a couple more things. Yeah, we got another vendor over here. And bathroom, that's good. Okay, now we have actual... This is so cool. There's a NASCAR in here. No, not NASCAR, Formula One. Oh, I'm so dumb sometimes. Okay, let's open this up. This is sweet. $13, that is a absolute steal. Let's get another sweet roller coaster in here. What the heck did we just get? We also have this one. Jawsome. That's kind of just like that. That's cool. That's definitely neat. We have the Goonies. This thing's pretty sweet. I couldn't tell you how you enter it. We also have this Air Force one. Oh, this is cool. It takes up a lot of space, but honestly, if we just get this right on the end here. Yeah, I'm going to clear up some trees here. We don't need that many trees. We can sell them. That's perfect. And I might even delete this back a little bit. And I'm just going to put this literally right on the edge of this. Okay, let's get our coasters. Let's get our barn, or our Air Force One. And I think it kind of just... Yeah, if we hide that... Let's maybe just angle it kind of like that, maybe? Now let's just look at this thing first of all. Are we good? I think we might have to go down a little bit. Yes, we need to go down a tiny bit. Man, that rain is coming down hard. Yeah, let's put that right there. And then is there a little thing? I guess if we just hide that, show it. Let's see that, I guess. I don't know. Is there a fence on the ground? Okay, that should be pretty good. We got this is like the ticket booth, and I guess exit only. I don't know where our entrance is. Oh, here's our entrance. That's a little bit weird, actually. I don't really know where I'm gonna... It has to be on like two sides. Okay, this might not be it. We also have this mountain racer one. Now this thing is... Okay, first of all, we have a very distinct entrance, so that's good. I might have to redo this because I adjusted that. Let's put this thing in here. This is sweet. Let's just get that right to the ground there. Honestly, that's kind of perfect. I'm just going to bring it in a little bit. And then maybe flip it kind of like that. I feel like that's pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and lock that in, and then I can take this and go back a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to round off these edges. If I can, let's round those off, and then I'm just going to take this and have it come back to here. I don't know what size that is. Let's kind of just get going straight out like that, and then let's come in right into the front of it. Okay, this thing's actually really cool. It kind of goes up. Let's test this thing out. First of all, we need to test it out. Mountain Racer. Like, that is so cool. Probably get some trees in here. So we need to make sure we have some power. Oh my, okay, we need to move that thing over a tiny bit. Can I please? Oh, of course it wants me to take the entire roof off the building. Okay, let's get a separate one here. I guess we can just put one there. And then we can just take the power from there, go to there, and we should have power. Okay, perfect. I really want to ride this thing. So I'll speed it up till they get back. Okay, there we go. And now we can ride this thing. Like, look at this. This is crazy. Absolutely love this. We can hide the panels, get a nice little cinematic here for you guys. Okay, this one's called Mountain Rage. Whoa, okay, a couple trees we have to get rid of. But this is cool. It's just a classic roller coaster. It's probably a little bit bumpy just because it's wooden, but like, this looks pretty sweet. I actually really like this. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and lock this one. It's just like smooth. That's what I'm getting from this. It just looks smooth and fun. Let's maybe go to the cinematic. Let's take a look at this thing. Yeah, that's sweet. I really like that. It's very Viking themed, kind of fits some of our theme. Let's start charging a pretty penny for that. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, that is our theme park. This thing is absolutely insane. Hopefully I'll roll some B-roll of the entire park for you guys. I'm just going to lock this in. I'm going to get a couple of trees in here just because I don't think this is quite done. Let's just get like just a few trees in here just to kind of make it a little bit more tropically and kind of just finish off the rest of the park. I think that's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if you like this video, let's get this to 800 likes to lock the next one. Look how many people are in here. We got 3,000 guests. I had a blast with this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one.